top healthcare?
Hello, and welcome to the Saladcast on Sunday, November 16th, 2025. I'm your host, Dan Train. Joining me today, Zachary Burgess.
It's an uphill struggle.
And Robert Kemp.
It's too many Novembers.
What are you struggling against? Healthcare?
Well, yeah, it's like if it's on the mountaintop, that's
true.
makes it even more of an effort.
Yeah, if you can't get there, you're. Wait, no, it's the wrong way around. I was about to say if you can't get there, you're not ill enough. It's like that way.
Yeah, that would be the worst kind of healthcare. It's so far up a mountain in order to get there, you have to be entirely healthy.
If you can't get there, you're too ill. It's fine. Just accept your end.
To be fair, if you really need healthcare up a mountain, it usually comes from above in some kind of helicopter.
Sure. But does that count as mountain top healthcare or mountain adjacent?
That's an adjacent. Well, it's on the mountain, but maybe not on the top.
Well, a helicopter's not on the mountain.
Well,
It's over it. It's sort of hovering.
But what,
Yeah.
but what if a guy comes down from the helicopter on a cable, then when he touches the floor, then the helicopter is attached to the ground, therefore it's on the mountaintop?
therefore, it's on the mountaintop. It's true. It's hard to receive healthcare completely remotely from a hovering helicopter.
They just fly
Bandages
past
on you while it's flying.
They fly past and use like a tranquilizer gun, except it's not tranquilizer, it's just like medicine.
Medicine, right?
Yeah,
Get
Where's the
better.
morphine?
whatever those Saint Bernards wear around their necks, like they're
Whiskey,
just,
usually.
yeah, they're just gonna gun that down to you.
What do they wear around their necks?
Whiskey, right? That's the classic.
What, to like revive?
Yeah, it's for, cold, for when you're cold on the mountains. It's just like, have this, then you at least won't die temporarily, very temporarily.
Yeah.
You won't, or at least you won't feel like you're dying temporarily.
You won't die.
Is this
so
like,
bad.
I didn't know about this. Is this like Victorian Mountain Rescue? Random dog arrives with whiskey.
Well,
Kinda.
however real this actually was,
Yeah.
like
Right.
I'm sure it happened at some point in the 1800s or some shit.
I'm sure I'm sure it was a thing in Switzerland.
Yep, probably.
At some point in time.
Sounds more Scottish, doesn't it? Or Irish to be delivered whiskey. That's
Yeah.
Not cold enough
I mean,
in
yeah,
Scotland or
maybe.
Ireland.
I want to say it was fair. Like it used to turn up a lot in old cartoons.
Yes,
right.
I mean, that's why I'm saying it's like this is
Oh.
probably an urban legend.
Yeah.
But it probably did happen at some point because back then they didn't even know what real medicine was. Just drink whiskey; it's probably going to make you better in some way.
This was in the era where characters would be near death, like drink all of the St. Bernard's supply, and then in the next scene be pissed out of their heads, and
Yep.
that was okay.
Yep.
and that was content for children.
Yep. Good stuff.
Maybe I was kept away from. I was watching the BBC children's output and not the crazy
Yeah,
drunken mountain rescue output.
I want to say like it was even a Disney thing, right? Like even
Yes.
like I think I
probably.
I almost primarily remember it as like a Goofy thing or something next Goofy adjacent or something like that. I don't know.
Yes, I suspect I've seen it in that and the Warner Brothers
I'm sure they
version.
did it as well. Yeah,
Looney Tunes type.
Looney Tunes type
probably.
things, yes.
Yeah.
And wasn't what is the stupid film called with the St. Bernard dog? Because that did it as well, didn't
Or
it?
Beethoven.
Yeah, I think they used that cliche in that as well.
Oh, they might have done actually. Yeah,
That would explain it.
I've only seen the
watched those, I
first
don't think.
one, but they did like 4 or 5 of
Naturally.
those goddamn things.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're not still making them. I mean,
I don't know,
I'm sure that'll get rebooted, won't it?
dog-based movies kind of fell off.
I think Air Bud might
Yeah.
have ruined it for us all.
They made like multiple Airbuds, and then that was like the death knell. They were done after that.
Which is the funniest. I mean, it's the stupidest shit ever. Like, why that ever got made?
I mean, the first one is like that's a dumb thing, but that's fine. But you can't make a sequel to that concept.
No.
The whole point of the concept is it only works one time.
Yeah, the dog got good. It's Get Good, the movie for dogs.
You're right. There is a sad decline in certainly live-action dog-based entertainment.
Well, it's because you can't have animal cruelty any longer, so
Yeah.
you can't make those kind of films.
I mean, that was it. Even then, that was in the era where there was plenty of animal cruelty. Like, you had to have that stamp right on the end of like any show
Sure.
with animals in it.
But they didn't consider the same. It was like back then, just a trained animal wasn't cruelty, but now like the amount of training becomes cruelty by modern standards. It's like you can't do that at a level of animal manipulation any longer.
I can see it. But then no one's going to greenlight a project like that because of modern risk aversion anyway.
Sure.
You know,
Never worked with children and adults.
Yeah, exactly. You're just not going to get something like that, mate. I'll tell you what films, here we go, we're on there already.
Yep.
I'll tell you what film caught my eye that actually I hope was good, but looked kind of cool. I might have mentioned it before, but it's called Sketch, where it's about kids who draw monsters, and those monsters come to life, but they look exactly like their drawings and are all jank and weird.
No, I've not come across that. Is this like an indie horror thing, or?
No, I don't think it's a horror film.
Not horror? Okay.
I think it's mostly just like a kids' action film in some ways.
Oh, kids. Okay.
I was thinking it was going to be more along the lines of like one of those terrible trauma dump films where it's like the monsters are a representation of the children's horrible life, and it's going to be all about their parents or whatever.
I mean, I haven't seen it. I mean, I guess it could still be that. And it'd be like, oh, by the way, your parents are monsters. Like, oh, geez, okay.
I'm sure sketch is like Gen Z slang for sketchy, as in dodgy, isn't
I
it?
don't know if it's Gen Z. That might be our generation.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
That's like 90s.
What, saying sketch?
Sketch, yeah. Well,
Yeah, maybe. Well, it seems to be currently popular as well. Not something.
Well, sure, because eventually they're going to steal all our leaves.
That's true. It's cringe.
Yeah.
First,
My question is, what's the story Wishbone?
the story
That's how you- Yeah, we need more than like dog-based entertainment.
Wishbone the dog. That was an American one, though, right?
I don't remember that.
Did you not watch that one on Nickelodeon? It was definitely American.
Oh, was he? Wait, hang on. I'm getting flashbacks. Horrible flashbacks. Was he a Jack Russell?
Is it a Jack? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because it's a Jack Russell in Frasier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is the same. Yeah, it was. What's it called in Frasier? Eddie, isn't it?
Eddie,
Yeah, I don't know if they have. They don't have that in the Big Bang Theory or anything like that anymore.
There's no dogs. Friends never had. Oh no, actually, I was about to say Friends never had animals, but they did. They had a bloody duck and a chick for ages.
That's true.
The chick never aged. Oh, actually, no, it did. It did become a chicken eventually, but.
I say the Big Bang Theory like it's a current like single camera or multi-camera sitcom, but it's not. It's probably ended years ago, didn't it? I don't know what. It's probably Young Sheldon or something, isn't it now?
Yeah, and even that's not like the classic studio audience filmed style, right?
Maybe it finally died.
Oh, it must still exist, right? They must still be making
I mean, they don't need
episodes of something.
They don't need to make new ones. They can just keep showing the old ones again because that's all my parents fucking watch. Well, no, actually, they've got through. I think they've got through the Big Bang Theory like twice over at this point. So now we're in another lull where they're not watching it.
Oh, I'll tell you what is still going. Mrs. Brown's Boys. Occasionally, right? Fuck that shit. It's a terrible show. But
Why?
But that's studio audience filmed, right? It's.
Well, sure, but that's intentionally like that because of that.
I mean,
It's trying to emulate that style specifically.
Yeah, I wonder if it began as a pastiche. You know what I mean? And then I don't know. That show sucks, so I don't know.
But it's Christmas, so here it comes.
Yeah,
here it comes again.
Oh my days! Yeah, it's so bad. But I don't even film like even intentional comedies like Father Ted or anything like that anymore, right? Like it's just it's just not done like that.
Not anymore.
I wonder if it. Do you reckon? There's a bit of me that's wondering, like, actually, it probably would have been cheaper to film it like that, right? Like, in the audience setting, because you're on a proper sound stage, you're on a proper studio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you've got to build the set, and okay, you've got to go through the slight admin of giving out free tickets somehow to get an audience in.
Yeah, I think it was traditionally done because it was cheaper.
Yeah.
Certainly used to be.
Especially if it's.
I mean, they got expensive because the stars ended up so famous that they needed
Yeah.
millions of dollars an episode.
Especially if you knew it was going to be serialized, right? And it's like, oh, it's fine, we can use the same location, the same sets, yeah.
Yeah, it's all controlled.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess you're right. I guess it is dead media.
Yep.
Because, like, my head now is like, what have I watched recently that's even like that? And it's like, ugh. I mean, the closest in my head is Derry Girls, but that's clearly not filmed like that. But it's that sort of, in a way, it's that sort of comedy. And it's like, well, why didn't they do it like that? I was like, oh, yeah, because they were never really in the same sets very much.
Yeah, I guess like the main girl's kitchen table or whatever was the closest to, or the school, maybe the part of the school maybe was the closest.
Maybe. Oh yeah, the school hall, I suppose. They were in that a lot.
But it was an actual school hall. It wasn't a set thing.
Well, probably like a community centre hall, right?
Probably
to get that age, to get that aged look, undeveloped style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Now you've mentioned it. It's weird. It never really occurred to me. Big Bang Man. Is there any more of that 2.5 Men? Did that end? Because they kept that running even when Charlie Sheen went mental, right?
Right. Yeah. Maybe these do exist and we just don't know about them.
Yeah.
And we're the wrong people to ask. Probably. But yeah.
Somewhere.
But the thing about the Big Bang Theory was
Ray Romano is still making that show.
It felt like when the Big Bang Theory started that it was a kind of anachronistic, that like, why are you starting a new one of these when these are totally out of fashion? And yet it became like maybe the most biggest one ever in terms of money.
Absolutely.
I think it made even more money than Friends.
Absolutely.
So why, surely it'd be lucrative if someone figured out how to make another one of those.
Do it again. Yeah. Because even they haven't done another one, right? Those writers that were like,
no,
but maybe that's why. Like, you could have one of these every like 10 years.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
or maybe now anyway. Because they used to be like, how is New Fraser filmed?
God, I think that is cancelled now.
Oh really?
I think it may have lasted a couple of series, but yeah. But I think that was
AI Fraser.
There was a fun video doing the rounds, but that got deleted. Of like that had it was someone going, man, AI sitcoms are going to be so cool, but it was like obviously a nightmare. But they trained it on Friends, and it was pretty funny, and it like not because of dialogue or anything like that, but just the weirdness that was going on.
The weirdness of it, yeah.
Like that video opened with like a Chandler like character storming into the classic flat, going "Pizza's here!" and then the crowd laughing. But the thing is the door was closed and like people freeze framed it, and his hand like phased through the door and opened it from the inside.
We're in like a golden age, like because it won't be long before it's too good or whatever.
I mean, it's already getting to that point,
we're past that. I mean, that beer advert that was so amazing, right? Where people are like constantly morphing into each other and stuff. It's like that didn't last very long. That period where you could make stuff that bad.
No,
with
they got good too
quickly.
We got past that stage quite quickly into the stage where it was choppy and uninterpolated, but now the interpolation got good. And so that's okay. You can still notice it. There's plenty, like in the interpolation of AI videos is usually the thing that is the problem, right? Like it's clearly generating keyframes and then filling in the gaps.
It's like it's gone too far the other direction. It's now too smooth. Where it's just like everything is a slow morph, and you can just tell.
There's an element, of that. But like so my Facebook feed at the moment seems to be filled with like people, like TikTok dancers, and then like putting other people into those TikTok dancers. Like
Facebook is absolutely flooded with AI slop. Literally every majority of posts.
Almost everything. Yeah, but the thing is like those, like the AI quality, the video quality of those is generally pretty good. Apart from when people move their hands quite quickly, right? And you can it's doing that same thing that TVs do, where like with that motion smoothing on, where you can see. Like for some reason the hand motion isn't as smooth as it should be or as blurred as it should be as it's moving across the frame when they're doing these quick moves, and it's that stuff that it's still not great at, because it's not generating every frame yet. It's generating in betweens. But that clearly that's a power problem, right? I guess they could do that if they wanted to today, but
like if you were making a well, I don't even want to think about this, but if you were making an actual TV show, you could just pay to have every frame generated properly.
Yeah, presumably. I mean, it is terrifying because it's like eventually it will be good. I mean, that's the unfortunate reality that we're in. Eventually, it will be good. But it won't. But the truth of it still is it can't be original right now. It just can't be.
No.
it's the unfortunate nature of it. And I don't know, there's something about almost every bit of AI you see that looks the same, right? There's always something about it that you can
immediately
see
tell.
and go, yeah, or the way it's composed, or the way the shot is, there's more than just the motion and the incorrect number of fingers.
Well, that one at least got removed more or less.
Yeah,
they got over that hurdle.
I was watching a car review of the Volvo ES90 on Auto Trader's YouTube channel, because that's where Rory Reid ended up, and he's pretty good at that stuff. Even in the middle of that, the Auto Trader ad, he was using AI clips in the middle of that of people getting into terrible car situations, and they kind of lent into it and made that kind of a joke because it was somewhat relevant to the processing power that was in this Volvo they were talking about. So whether or not they're going to do that continually, I just found that kind of weird. It's like in the middle of this thing, and their sponsored section was built out of AI clips.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels very cheap.
My garbage YouTube adverts have been getting increasingly AI, and it's all, and surprised, even from not just from the garbage mobile games or whatever. It's that's kind of expected, but from regular companies as well, Nicorette, they used AI for one of their adverts.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's kind of that's a semi-known company.
I want to say that the last Indeed ad I got while listening to the Giant Bombcast, was AI had an AI voiceover or something, because the script was just so weird and rubbish. It wasn't awful. It was just so bland. I don't know. I feel like that was even Indeed, normally at least they set it's a pretty boring subject, right? It's job applications.
Yeah, that's true.
It's there's nothing too fancy to it, but there was just something about this last one that just sort of pricked me, and I was like, I don't know.
It's interesting because
right
now, obviously, like you say, the danger obviously is going to get too good, but right now it's this is a way to instantly devalue your brand. All you have to do is use AI once, and you've trashed your brand in my eyes. Yeah. Look, I would any brand that obviously used AI like that for something creative, I would instantly lose respect for. Amazing.
More on that later.
Yep.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. Haven't Coke doubled down and they're doing that AI version of the Coke truck ad again this year? The one that everyone obviously tore apart.
I mean, I guess that's useful to us for seeing the progress. It's if one company is going to sacrifice themselves to show what the current situation of AI is then okay, I guess.
I don't think they even are. Yeah. I don't think it's a new ad. I think they're just using the same AI ad that they did last time, which is
dumb.
Yeah,
because that's not showing the current goodness of AI as good as it might be.
It's real stupid.
That's so weird for Coca-Cola to be cheap. They've got all the money they could possibly want for advertising. That's basically most of what their money goes to.
The thing is, it was a good couple years ago now, right? When they did it, it probably wasn't that cheap to make.
No, I see.
When they first did it.
Well,
I mean, it probably would have been cheaper than actually going out and getting trucks and driving them around Lapland or wherever the hell. That's
But you didn't need to do that either. You could have just made it a full CGI trailer, the regular way.
Sure, and
I still don't understand why Coca-Cola made that whole advert years ago with Jack White or whatever, with an original song, and it was really good, and they never even used it.
What? I never heard of this.
Oh, it's great. It's a Coca-Cola advert, but it's, it's I suppose it's in the spirit of I Want to Teach the World to Sing or whatever, the original song Coca-Cola advert. But it was an original Jack White song. I'll send it to you. It's it's the right thing to do and you know it. Like this. And it had a cool practical effect. Well, it was a little bit like the hardest button to button with, things moving multiple, through a scene by jumping or a multiple cut type thing. Kind of like that. Anyway, it was only 1 minute long, whatever. But it's went to the trouble of making all that, and then I don't even know why they didn't even use it. Anyway, weird. So that's why you never saw it. Obviously, this was probably 15 years ago. But
sure.
Yeah.
Wow, no, I never heard of that. That's amazing.
Unless they only use it in some specific market.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think they played it once or something.
Maybe they trialed it and thought the white stripes aren't big enough.
Yeah, maybe they're not.
Maybe they're too indie. This is going to... They haven't released Seven Nation Army yet. It's not going to fly. We need to play it at a sports venue.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I saw the White Stripes went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last week.
About damn time.
Or whatever. Well, you could say that. I mean, there's a lot of massive rock artists that never got into that yet.
Oh,
I guess they sort of space it out. Yeah, it's kind of weird. They let people in on a gradual basis or whatever. It's quite weird. So, being Jack White, he like shouted out a whole ton of bands that inspired the White Stripes that are pointedly not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Yeah, which is nice. So, yeah. And Meg wasn't there because obviously she doesn't want to do that stuff, but it was still a nice tribute to her too.
Cool. I mean, well deserved, personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be interested to know who's not. You've got to be interested in who's not there now. But
yeah, it's a kind of a weird institution, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
they sort of
because they want to make a deal of it, right? They can't just induct everyone all at once.
Exactly, all at
these
once.
These guys are great.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Although that would be a hell of a party.
Yeah, everyone's in now. All the good people. Like, that would be a massive party.
And we've brought in a bunch of old CRT TVs for you to throw out the window.
Woo!
Enjoy.
Yeah. And a swimming pool for you to drive a Rolls Royce into.
But not a real Rolls Royce. That's cruel.
No, that's cruel.
I bet they're not. They can't be in there, can they? The bare naked ladies. Look.
I don't think they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Not quite the same vibe.
Let's see if I can Google this. I highly doubt it.
Well, Dad does that. This is the transmedia section of this podcast.
As always.
Anyone watching any good films or TV shows? I kind of haven't. I've kind of just been in the... I started watching Death Note, actually.
Pre-Christmas break.
Oh, really? The OG Death Note?
Yeah, the anime. Because I never actually watched it all the way through. I watched like the first few episodes of it like decades ago or whenever it came out and stuff. But it's like...
So you never got to the meme with the potato chips or whatever?
No.
I eat a potato chip or something like that, isn't it, Zach? What is it?
I have not got to that.
That's a good meme. It's also a good. It's actually genuinely a good moment as well. Anyway, so go on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. Like, it's pretty tense. Like, it's kind of... there's plenty of occasions where I know like it was written before a lot of modern tech and stuff where there's just like they're like, oh, they're clearly glossing over that, or there's like, or they occasionally just sort of almost like an episode later like explain why the previous episode was dumb. Like, like there's the odd moments like that where it feels like they're having to go, oh shit, we messed up. It's probably not written like that or something like that, but it feels like that sometimes. It's like, oh, and by the way, this was okay because, like, there's it's a little bit like that at times, but yeah, and I'm. This is another example of one of those times where you shouldn't get curious and like scroll down in Netflix too far. Because those episode descriptions are perhaps a little bit too descriptive.
Spoilery?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I hate that.
So, yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. But
They should use
I can't
AI
help myself. I
to...
can't freaking help myself. I do it every bloody time, and I just can't help but look down, and it's just like, oh, why did I do that? Mistake. But yeah,
that would be a good use of AI.
Yeah.
Well, they should have tests that use AI to see if things look spoilery and flag them so that they can rewrite them.
This is too, yeah. Well, but then how would it know? Like those synopses tend to be like this character does this thing that's actually not like important to the plot, but it's something that happens.
The actual answer is you use AI to generate a synopsis and then put the exact opposite of whatever that outputs, because then it will be because the AI one will inevitably be the exact spoiler description of the episode.
Yeah. I mean, I try and be careful even when I'm writing the blurbs for our video series, right? It's like not to give too much of what actually is going on away.
Even though we inevitably spoil everything in the video anyway because we can't help ourselves.
You say we. It's a you thing. You're like oh, when this happens and this happens. So,
well, I mean, for a lot of old games, it doesn't matter.
No, of course it doesn't.
We're
doing this for entertainment purposes, not. Not hey, you should have. I mean, yeah, you're 30 years too late, guys. Suck it up. By the way, Darth Vader is Luke's father. You know, it's that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
Anyway, yeah, I'm watching that. It's kind of funny. I did out of curiosity watch the trailer for the Netflix movie they made of it. It's wildly different, even from the small amount of the series I'm into, and it's like, I can immediately tell. It's like, oh, they have changed everything.
It does have the obvious casting right of Willem Dafoe as.
I mean, that is I mean, clearly,
yeah.
I mean,
that's
the right
amazing
choice.
casting. Yeah,
absolutely the right choice.
Yeah, but maybe the rest of it didn't quite work.
No,
but that was. I mean, I couldn't choose someone better.
I mean, the trailer immediately shows that it's not just Light. Like, he brings someone else. He brings a girl into the fold, like, immediately. Like, it's it's like, well, presumably because he needs someone to talk to and he can't inner monologue all the time or something, like, that you can get away with in anime, I guess. Yeah. But it's like, it's immediately a very different thing. And it's like, I mean, how are they going to, in a way, like, I suppose it had to be if they were making a movie, they would have had to have dramatically collapsed a series, but anyway. I'm still mildly intrigued by whatever that thing is, but if I do watch it, I'll watch it after the series. But
yeah, definitely worth watching the OG.
Yeah,
it's not super long or anything, is it?
No, it's like one anime season long.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
About 20 odd episodes or something like that. So and I'm 6 or 7 in, so pretty early, but.
You're gonna practice sitting like L on the sofa.
Yeah, constantly crouched.
Yeah,
poised.
Yeah, that's good luck.
I mean, other than that, I've started watching Alice in Borderland, season 3, which is so far been quite focused on the death games and not so much on the meta. I mean, the first episode is all meta, but like the. Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. It's obvious that it's like this was added on later, which it was. Like the manga for Alice in Borderland stopped after where season 2 got to, and so this is all made up new stuff to keep it going. And you can kind of tell, but it's fine. I'm still kind of into it. It's just don't expect all of the characters to return, which wouldn't make sense given how that show works.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. I quite like it. I quite Borderland. It's like if you don't want to get too sucked into the Squid Game hype, here's an alternative that's Japanese instead of Korean. I still haven't watched the next 2 series of Squid Game. To be honest, they made 2 more series since I watched that first one. I don't remember that. I don't know about you, but I don't know if there was any hype for the next 2 series.
I think there was some hype.
I mean, there was definitely some adverts.
That really?
Even I managed to see. So
I saw next to nothing about it. Like it just seemed so big when that first season came out, and then I think the most I've heard about is actually like the real life game show variant, which is weird. Anyway, that's my movie and TV section out of the way.
What have I watched? I started watching the new.
Apart from Celebrity Traitors, I should just point out, boy, that was good.
Thing from what was that? What?
Oh, Celebrity Traitors. Just saying, it's like if you were watching that, I won't say anything about spoilers and stuff. But boy, it was good. It was good. One of them.
I don't watch any reality TV, but I think I might be missing out on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Reality TV kind of fell off a cliff after the first few seasons of Big Brother. To be honest, like it was new and original back then, and then it kind of didn't become a.
That was like 2003.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then it was like, but it was kind of interesting back then because it was kind of weird and strange, and then it didn't get better than that really. And so, this isn't like Love Island or any of that shit, or like Stuck in the Jungle where it's all like, I don't know. That stuff just feels like so fake and everything like that. Like there's something about this and the way it's edited and the way it's put together where it's like, yeah, there's a little bit element of like there's TV magic going on here, but it's so compelling how dumb people can seem from the other side of a TV screen, even though they're not being dumb, they just don't have the information you do. It's one of those shows, right? Like you have all the info and they don't. It makes that yeah. On this is one of those rare occasions where you knowing more than them is a good thing. Like, because I normally hate that, right? In like, especially in crime shows where you start seeing the perspective of the villain, and it's like, oh, why did you show me that? Like, where's the mystery? It's very rare that a show can pull that off. Like, mild spoilers, I suppose, but Department Q does that a little bit. Like, and I like that show quite a lot. So it's
if it's done well, I like the Columbo style. What do they call it? Instead of whodunit, it's how catch 'em.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess Death Note is that as well, right? It is.
Yeah,
it is.
That's a how catch 'em.
Everything about that is a how catch 'em. But, I'm not saying it can't work, but I think there's more examples than not of it not working. I kind of want to follow along. I want to be intrigued. I want to be a bit like, what on earth is going on here? Kind of, I like that feeling sometimes. It's
the mystery.
Yeah. But yeah, they make it work here. It's really good. And the backstabbing at the end. Oh, it's beautiful.
Good old werewolves.
Yeah. Wink murder.
Well, what have I watched? I watched the first couple of episodes of the new thing from the Breaking Bad guy, Vince Gilligan, with the actress from Better Call Saul, which I love Better Call Saul. That was great. So, and she's really great in it. Rhea Seehorn, her name is. It's called Pluribus. Have you heard about this?
I've heard the name mentioned. I don't know anything about it.
So it's high concept, similar to, you know how Severance is like, it's like a Black Mirror episode, or more specifically, it's like a Black Mirror is basically the Twilight Zone, right?
Yeah,
it's some like, weird concept,
or like Philip K. Dick stories or something like that.
Exactly, yeah. But where the Twilight Zone and the Black Mirror are just one-off episodes, Severance is like, well, let's take a really good concept and just make a whole series out of it, basically. You know, about how in Severance, the concept is that you're split, right, between your work life and your home life, and you don't remember either. So this is similar to that in that it's a high concept thing, but it's going to be a whole show, I guess. So I want to see where it goes. But the concept is, the premise is that everyone gets a virus pandemic thing, which the concept is it comes from space. So they get a signal from space, which is a genetic code, and then they plug that into, they make that virus in a lab, and then it escapes, right? And it takes over the whole world.
You fools.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, let's just take this alien signal and turn it into a virus.
Into biology? Why would you do that?
Yep, that's what they do. Like, they don't even think about it. And then obviously the quarantine procedures are like really bad, and it gets out. But what they don't realize is once you're infected with it, it takes over your mind and makes you spread it, right? So people are actively spreading it to the whole world. And the other thing is it makes you hive mind like the Borg. So everyone who's got it connected to a giant hive mind. And by the end of the first episode, the entirety of the human race is infected and are all one hive mind, except literally a handful of mysteriously immune people, like 11 people in the entire world. That's the premise.
Weird.
And when it infects you, you are temporarily paralyzed, which obviously instantly killed millions, if not billions, of people. Sure. Right in the initial outbreak. But that's the idea, and it follows this one character played by Rhea Seehorn, who's mysteriously immune, and is like horrified. And
it's The Last of Us.
Yeah, and they're all like, they want to be nice to her, and they're all like super happy, supposedly, to all be like sharing the same mind or whatever. We love the ooze. Exactly. And they're like, we're trying to figure out how to help you by bringing you into the fold. And she's like, I don't know if I want that. So anyway, that's the premise.
Oh, interesting.
So it starts as like
so they're aware of her.
Yeah, totally. They're aware of the 11 people that are immune, and they are like, oh, we want to help these guys. We don't want to hurt them. We want to, and they can like give them whatever they want, right? Because they have the infinite resources of the human race at their disposal.
Weird. But the Okay, so like when they're part of this hive mind, it's not actually destructive to them in any way.
No, in fact, they're supposedly claimed to be, blissfully happy.
Someone just watched the end of the original Futurama series with the like tentacle thing, and were like,
maybe it's that, yeah. But the guy Vince Gilligan, who made Breaking Bad and everything, he worked on the X-Files in the 90s. So I think it's definitely got a bit of obviously it's an alien virus or whatever, so it's got a bit of X-Filesiness to it too.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the premise.
Yeah, okay. Vaguely interesting.
So I have to see where it goes. Obviously, these 11 people, it's quite restrictive, that are immune. Because the first thing she does is like, well, do any of them speak English? Well, 5 of them speak English. Okay, I want to talk to them. And they're like, okay, fine. So they fly them to Spain or whatever, and they have a bit of a conference. Yeah. So
I find like... Oh, man. I'm always torn with shows that have these, like, really high concept ideas, like, to an extent.
Yeah.
Because there's a bit of me that's like, okay, this could be... the risk is that it turns into something like Lost, right? Where it's never...
Yeah, totally.
Where it's never explained. Or, I guess, not quite as bad, but Westworld, right, recently, where the third series jumped the shark. And
I couldn't even watch I tried to watch the second series. I really enjoyed the first series.
I quite liked the first two series, but yeah, like as soon as they went into the real world, a bit like I for some reason I just didn't care anymore. Like, and I didn't give season 3 a chance, and I don't even really know why, but it switched off for me, and as it turned out, consensus was that way as well. That it didn't really hit. But I know, it's like the long-term risk of making a show like that with a high concept premise is, I imagine that must be tricky, right? To keep it interesting for
they must have a plan. Although I say that, like, they definitely didn't have a plan in some bits of
they didn't have a plan for Lost,
Breaking Bad.
That's why it ended so poorly.
Famously for Lost, no, they didn't. But I mean, he went and like obviously J.J. Abrams, like, Lost was a failure in that aspect, but he still did it to Star Wars.
Right, yeah.
Even though everyone knew that he was going to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, there's plenty of shows on Netflix that kind of have I wouldn't say as high concept as that. That's pretty out there. But there's a few where I look at and go like, okay, that's cool, but you've got like several seasons up here already. It's like, how well does that hold out? Perhaps you should have stuck to one. Maybe I'd be happier with a limited series sometimes and just be like, do one. Just do one. Get one and done. Like that Watchmen series. It's like, I don't think that gets enough credit. I really liked that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Things haven't changed since TV shows are actual TV shows.
Yeah.
Just think back to any of the classic examples.
Syndicate it, ran it for 10 years.
Like, I don't know, Heroes.
Heroes, oh man.
Good for one season, but then it fell apart.
Yeah, what a bummer that was. Or I'm still bitter about Flash Forward. Like, I quite enjoyed that, and they just didn't make season 2.
Well, but isn't that what you want, though? You want them, I guess you want them to finish the fourth.
It was so unfinished. Yeah, like, it wasn't, they were only just sort of touching on some of its, like, manipulatable concepts in that show. And yeah, it never got there. That was the problem with that one. It never got there. Whereas I think, you're probably right. Westworld season 1, you could watch just season 1, and it got there. It got to its point, right?
Yeah, it had a great ending,
and then you could leave it alone, and you'd be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I really didn't like the kind of rogue. Who was that? I've forgotten all the characters' names. Dolores, right? Dolores.
Oh, right. Yes.
In the second season, where she was so kind of some badass kind of evil rebel leader or something. I was like, I got tired of it within. I don't usually stop watching things, but that one, I was like,
and it got really confusing with the creator's death being somewhat known and planned, and that whole it got messy, and
Plus, it doesn't help that the creator is played by Anthony Hopkins, who's amazing, and you don't get to see him once he's dead.
Yeah, not very much.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Is that another? Oh, who plays the not ghoul I'm getting confused now because, like, obviously Walton Goggins in Fallout plays the ghoul, and there's a character that's extremely similar in Westworld. Is that Walton Goggins again?
No, it's Ed Harris, isn't it?
It's Ed Harris. Yes, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yes.
And that's the twist, isn't it? Not. Oh, we're just talking spoilers now. There's a twist with him, right?
It's an old show.
First season. Yeah, it's an old show. Well, the twist is that you don't know that you're seeing two time periods, right, throughout the show,
right?
And
yes.
that the one person you're watching is an older version of the other person you're watching.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. And Teddy went on to be Sonic's companion. Sonic the Hedgehog's like Donut Lord.
Donut Lord. TV.
Films.
We should probably talk about games, though, because this is a podcast about video games.
When we feel like it.
Yeah, whenever we get around to it.
2/3 feel like it, yeah.
All right, what films have you been watching, Zach?
I haven't watched anything. I haven't watched any films or shows for many years at this point.
Really? Not like anything?
Well, apart from when I'm here, obviously.
Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Yes, exactly. Those are the most recent films I've watched.
I mean, is that the jump the shark moment you think of? I mean, Fast and Furious has a lot of those, but it's like there's a bit of me that's about like, okay, now we've got like cybernetic soldiers that's like, okay, maybe that's a step too far. But
it was a spin-off, so they get some leeway.
I haven't seen, in fairness, I haven't seen Fast 9 or Fast X, so I have no idea how this,
as I've been saying,
if it even does play into the main plot.
As I've been saying up to this point, as we've been watching the Fast and Furious films, it's like, it's obviously going to be when they go to space, because that's going to happen.
Which they do, apparently. I think it is a joke, but they do go to space, right?
But, like, that's going to be it. That's.
Do they do it on top of an Amazon penis rocket?
Probably.
Or is it the blue, whatever they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, not even any anime or anything on Real Player you can...
I could watch something on Real Player, dig out my old hard drives.
Yeah, man.
I've still got RM files.
Where else are you going to watch Raz F on these days?
Exactly. Well, no, those weren't RMs.
Well, weren't they? Oh.
I think they were Avies.
Oh, okay. I have no idea where you'd find shows like that these days.
On my house. That's where you find that one specifically.
Yeah. I guess Crunchy might have it, but... Films.
Yes, indeed. Time for the news, of which there is quite a bit.
There's a little bit, yeah. Let's start.
Or a little bit.
Let's start with the biggie, or perhaps the least surprising in some ways. But Valve are revisiting Steam machines.
Funnily enough, like literally 2 weeks after we talked about it on the podcast.
We talked about it, yeah,
as usual, yeah,
because we knew it was coming. Yeah,
we say, and it is a thing. We have become gods.
I think it was pretty obvious, but yeah.
Yeah. No, the Steam machine has been announced. It's a little GameCube-like device that is designed to be a Steam Deck, but without all the handheldiness. Like, it is a console version of that.
A Gabe Cube to go with your Gabe gear.
Cube, yes. Oh, of course.
The Gabe Cube.
The GameCube is real. I mean, people have already done that, like as like Steam Deck intro sequences, so now it's real.
I still think, yeah, the deck is the Gabe gear, clearly, and this is the Gabe Cube.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a pretty cute looking device with interchangeable faceplates, apparently, like magnetically attachable faceplates. So 360 era's back, baby.
Yeah, baby.
So it's got the one thing. I mean, Digital Foundry have had a look at this. A few other outlets have had a look at this thing. Valve invited people to come and have a look and have a little play, but not too much of a play, if you know what I mean. So they've told us all the details about the specs and what chips and all that kind of stuff is in it. So the long and the short of it is that it's going to be more powerful than a Series S, but less powerful than a PS5 or a Series X. It's somewhere in between. It is essentially like the Steam Deck. It is a PC. So, and it will be running SteamOS, and it will be doing all that kind of stuff. If you're used to the deck, this will be that, just with a bit more power and a bit more thing. Or if you've been building your own SteamOS machines, which I guess you can now, this will be very much in line with that. The one thing Digital Foundry picked up as a concern was that the GPU side of this thing only has 8 gigs of VRAM, which they are repeatedly known for banging the drum with like new graphics card releases, saying, "Hey, 8 gigs of VRAM doesn't really cut it anymore." Especially not on PC software side. Like, consoles kind of get away with it because they're kind of tuned to it and all that kind of jazz, but on the PC
and they're SoCs as well these days, aren't they? The Series X and the PS5, which this isn't.
This isn't. Discrete. No, this is very much a pretty standard sort of PC build.
Unlike the Steam Deck, which is an SoC, presumably, right?
Oh, I mean... Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it is just an APU, right? It's an AMD APU on a board with some RAM and a hard drive attached, and that's exactly what the Steam machine is. It's just, bigger with more specs and more thermal cooling to...
So I just mean, doesn't the Steam Deck have unified graphics and normal memory on a one chip, like a phone?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know how its memory load works on a Steam Deck off the top of my head.
Or like a Switch, too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the memory management works on the Steam Deck off the top of my head. But yes, you're right in that the Steam machine isn't unified. It is very much
traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, more. Sorry, I said APU, isn't it? That's not right, isn't it? The Steam machine is more CPU and GPU, kind of discreetly, with separated RAM concerns. But yeah, so anyway, Digital Foundry is concerned about that because I think they talk about that you can kind of get away with 12 gigs of VRAM, but 16 gigs is where you should really be these days for PC software. If you're, especially as Valve's own language is, we want all games, current games, to be capable of running at 4K 60 on this thing, and I'm like, no. They qualify that statement by, if I read the whole statement, it's like they want these running at 4K 60 with FSR, which of course means you could just run whatever the hell bloody base resolution you want and then upscale it, right? It's kind of a meaningless statement because you're not going to be running things at 4K 60 native on this thing, not modern games, not current games at least. Unless you're in the indie space, in which case you'll be fine. The other thing that's worth pointing out, that's maybe a limitation compared to the current gen consoles, is that this thing is built upon HDMI 2.0, which is an interesting choice because HDMI 2.0 maxes out at 4K 60, so it's not possible to do 4K 120 or higher like HDMI 2.1 can, and that is what inherently the current gen consoles all use. So that's a weird.
Is this similar to the Switch 2 dock or whatever?
Yeah, I think the Switch 2 dock has the same limitation. Yeah. It's an interesting choice. It's a bit of not quite sure why they did that. And it definitely is a limitation if you want to target these things. But the other thing they have specifically said that it will support VRR. So I guess that makes the 4K 60 limit. If you want to push graphic tech up and VRR your way through it, that's probably okay. To some extent, my experiences with VRR through the Steam Deck have not worked. So hopefully they've been doing some work on that, because the Steam Deck itself doesn't support VRR, right? But it kind of does once you've hooked the dock to it. Apparently, that was the whole thing with that, right? The official Steam Deck dock supports VRR, and
officially supports it. VRR.
Yeah. You can see it in the menus. You can see it in the performance mark when you've got it plugged in and stuff like that. You can just turn on VRR. That shit has never worked for me. It actually just breaks the visual connection. So I don't know if that's an incompatibility with the dock and my TV.
Quite possibly
plausible. But it's like, why would it? Yeah, but I've never had a problem with that on the Xbox. So it's I don't know. A little bit skeptical. A little bit skeptical on that front. And that's the run of it. There's a new controller that has all of the gubbins that the Steam Deck itself can do. So 2 massive trackpads below the PlayStation-style sticks, which the sticks are actually the most interesting part about this controller in a way, because it's like they've said they're like the new TMR-style sticks. So it's like, I think, Hall Effect, but the modern version of it. So they shouldn't suffer from stick drift or noise or anything like that forever. Like, they should be really good sticks.
Sweet.
They probably don't have any of they haven't really talked about haptics or any of that jazz. Like, so don't expect like DualSense levels of haptics in this thing. The other thing they talked about was that it's aware that you're gripping it. So for people who like playing gyro aimed games, apparently there was one guy at Valve that worked on making sure this controller had gyro controls.
Right.
That was what he wanted to do, so he moved his desk to the location.
And he made the gyros work.
Yeah. So that's why we have that. But the Steam Deck had all of that. So, like, in theory, it wasn't too difficult to replicate. But there was, one guy who brought that back for this. But, so the idea was that it's somewhat tied to the grip. So if it knows you're gripping, the controller gyro is on. But if you take your hands off or loosen your grip in a specific way, then gyro turns off. Or recalibrates. It's a way of doing that on the fly, I guess. Like, it's... which is mildly interesting. So
you can clench and it will screw you in a different way.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I assume all of that's configurable because like everything's configurable in Steam Input, right? So it's, I don't know. That controller looks kind of cool. I might want one of those even just for how I use my Steam Deck right now. Especially given I've got a couple of one of my PlayStation 4 controllers I noticed has now got right stick noise.
Yeah,
which is weird.
I think what you actually just want is a functional controller at this point. You've got so many semi-functional controllers.
I want the semi-functional controllers. My newest Series X controller is in good condition. Thumbs up. So there's that. We don't know a price point or anything like that about it. It is expected to be pretty high though, because Valve. They haven't announced the price point in front of that, but they have said they would like it to be comparable. They're aiming for it to be comparable to what they call an entry level PC at this point in time. So that's got people like looking at those specs and thinking it's probably going to be around $800, sorry, which will probably translate to £800 directly because electronics suck like that for us, which is a bit of a lot. Not gonna lie, it's a bit of a lot for something that's But
we don't know at all, right?
Yeah, we don't know for real. But that price point puts it in line with a PS5 Pro, and it's so that's it's a bit pricey. But you could argue in some ways it's like, hey, you're still not getting that top gen performance, but hey, you've got a Steam box under your TV, so you can use your Steam library, where it will be cheaper to buy games. So maybe you're saving in the long run doing it that way. It's the inevitable evolution. A bit of me wishes this happened a couple of years ago, because that was the primary use case for and that's still the primary use case for how I use my Steam Deck, which is docked. But don't get me wrong, I love the Steam Deck. I think it's a wonderful bit of kit. I have no buyer's remorse about getting it when I did. But I think this is really interesting, and it's also, in some ways, a precursor and directly competing with what Microsoft seemed to be implying the next Xbox is going to be.
Indeed. That's what we talked about last time. Now we can continue knowing half of the story.
It's getting interesting.
I thought it was never going to happen because Gabe hates Microsoft, but obviously for Microsoft to actually do, instead of trying to buy fucking Activision, all these massive things, they should have just somehow teamed up with Steam instead of competing with them. That would have been the dream, but no. But that Valve are doing it themselves, and I think it'll be a success.
Yeah, I mean, I bet that people at Microsoft tried. Like this, they must have.
They probably tried.
They absolutely must.
Because Valve is an interesting company, isn't it? Because he set it up because he worked for Microsoft when Microsoft got big in the early 90s and cashed out and used his money, which must have been a lot, to start his own company, which is totally private and remains private. Right? It's not a public company. And like his company is
of wanting to go that way.
No, because once they got the Steam money making machine. I mean, obviously it was a huge success with Half-Life and everything they made. But once they got the Steam money making machine going, they established themselves and never needed anyone else. And not only do they never needed anyone else, but they kind of define themselves in opposition to Microsoft in some ways. Like, despite the fact that their Steam platform runs entirely almost, or until they did the effort to make it work on Linux, was entirely basically dependent on Microsoft Windows. They're basically a kind of an anti-Microsoft company.
They're an anti almost all big tech. It's not just it's not just that. It extends to almost everything. Like, there's very little proprietary code in Steam,
which feels very good right now because big tech's image has only gotten worse and worse and worse year on year. So Valve, I can't say Valve has necessarily, improved or something, but just by comparison, it looks so good. Compared to big tech,
they have the advantage of never seeming to fall foul of the current trend, if you know what I mean.
No,
they
don't have to.
They don't feel like they're chasing a graph or they
can go their own way.
Yeah, they're doing what they need to do. They're doing, and that's the important part. I think they always done what they need to do, like not what is expected of them, which
indeed
isn't necessarily like some people think that's a bad thing in some respects. It's like, okay, yeah, they could have managed the curation of the store a little bit better. They might not have needed to fold to that credit card thing recently, right, around adult games and all that jazz. It's like okay, they might have not made every decision correctly at all times, but they've always done what they felt they needed to do.
Exactly.
And to a certain extent, like what they wanted to do, which is, how their entire company ethos internally has been from the start. It's like, you want to work on this? Sure. Make a case for it? Go for it.
That's cool.
They are like, it's the weirdest possible sentence that I might say, like regarding what is a big company, but they are still... and we'll talk about this a little later, in many ways, they're still an independent entity.
They are, indeed, which is very unusual.
And it lets them do whatever the hell they want.
And it's amazing. So I think with the Xbox...
with the exception of the first Steam machine, their ideas have always been on point, right, as well.
And the Steam machine is it wasn't a bad idea. They just weren't there yet. And I think part of it was the reason they came out too early. I think genuinely because Gaben was pissed off at the time with Microsoft. I think it subsided a bit, but there was definitely a bit where he got angry with the state of Windows and the way it was going, and was we're going to strike out.
Yeah,
which is absolutely fair. But it did mean that they were a little premature because they thought. I think the strategy at the time was, well, we haven't. At the time, they didn't have all the groundwork, but they thought that, well, we could, if we start an open ecosystem, then others will help us build it. And that didn't happen. So they just did it, the hard work themselves, which took 10 years and resulted in the Steam Deck, and now here we are.
I don't know whether that's 100% true. They clearly involved or must have been involved in the whole Proton layer and that side of things, but whether it was entirely themselves is I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, I'm sure there's some,
there must be a community around getting that running, and they're a part of that.
But I mean, they're the ones investing basically money earned from Steam itself into the development of these tools,
into making it work. And it's the last couple of years it's clearly been paying off. There are some games that now run better on SteamOS emulating Windows than Windows.
Technically astonishing. The fact that that's even a thing is phenomenal. Insane.
And I think Microsoft have realised that. I think I don't think Microsoft are dumb to that. They've cottoned on that that's a thing, but because that's we're starting to see perhaps the correct line of thinking to address that in the ROG Ally X. They are a long way from it. Don't get me wrong, like the ROG Ally X, personally, I think it looks like a bit of a disaster from the outside. But like the idea is there that, you know, cut down windows, cut it so like it is a gaming, Exactly. It can be a gaming machine and be this streamlined experience.
So it seems like the Xbox proposition could be the same thing as the Steam machine, except more compatible because it's cut down Windows and more powerful and premium. But the problem with that is the Steam machine is probably more attractive to most people, depending on the price situation, than that proposition would be.
Microsoft have the huge advantage, though, that they've got economies of scale, which Valve currently don't.
Yeah. If they could produce a more powerful, more compatible version of this for equivalent or less price, then obviously that would be great. But I don't even know if that's even possible.
No, I mean, there's an element that Microsoft, like, if Microsoft get it right, they have the possibility of actually taking money away from general PCs, right? Because it's like, if this thing ends up being both a competent gaming PC and, you know, straight up just a regular ass PC running normal Windows at a good economy of scale style price, then it becomes an attractive option for people who want a PC, right? Like there's a bit of me that's thinking it's like, well, okay, I've built this monster of a machine this year, but it's like in a couple years, would I be doing that next time I build a machine because maybe Microsoft will be building one that's attractive?
So for me personally, I am super hype. I'm not going to wait for Microsoft. I'm literally going to get one of these Steam machines. I'm super hype. I keep thinking about all the possibilities of all the things I could do with it. And again, with the Microsoft, starting with the Microsoft thing, it's like Microsoft did that big unveiling of Campaign Evolved and everything. And It's like, no, I haven't heard anyone saying this, but if I get a Steam machine, I could play Halo, I could play Halo 2 Anniversary, I can play Halo 3, I can play ODST, I can play Halo Reach on my TV, 4K 60, and I know it won't have the graphics memory for the latest games at 4K 60, but it'll be able to play Halo Reach at 4K 60, even through Proton and everything. Like, that's a more exciting Halo announcement than the Microsoft Halo announcement, right?
Sure.
And it's like, for me, maybe I have a weird situation, but, you know, I've described to you guys, I have this, like, RSI problem with using the mouse and keyboard at my desk to play games. And I have my work set up, so I'm completely converted personally to Mac OS, which is terrible for games, but great for me for everything else that I do. And I have my old PC sitting under my desk, which I put there when I moved into this flat 3 years ago, and I've never turned it on. And I've been thinking for years,
which is why we never carried on with the Deus Ex video
with the Deus Ex thing. But I could, because I can run Deus Ex on the Steam machine, right? Deus Ex 1. I've looked into it because, of course, people have already done the groundwork for the Steam Deck. So, like, obviously there's a mod so that when you need to type in a password or whatever with a keyboard in Deus Ex, you just, if you've seen it, then it fills it in for you, and shit like that is already done.
Oh, nice. Right. I didn't realize that. I thought they would just be like, oh, you could just pull up the Steam keyboard and do it that way.
Oh, that would probably work too. But stuff like that has been thought out. So, like, I could play Deus Ex Human Revolution because I've got that on Steam, right? That'll work.
That would probably run just fine. Yeah.
I could play Burnout 3. I could play Half-Life 2. I could play. It's just crazy.
I haven't tried emulated Burnout 3 on my Steam Deck yet. I tried. Yeah, I mean, now that they've got that sorted on PCSX2 and to a lesser extent, I don't know if I mentioned it, that like the Xbox emulation of Burnout 3 is now pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So I reckon that sort of thing that I haven't done, like, I could totally do with this Steam machine on my TV with the gamepad, and the gamepad looks really good.
I like the look of the gamepad, yeah.
And now I'm thinking of even weirder things, like I can play like Guitar Hero, Clone Hero, right? I could get that set up.
Yeah, you could do that.
Like, why not? And then I was like, well, what's the weirdest thing? Like,
what do they call the rock band? Like, is it like Clone Band or like?
There's one called like
Clock Band.
Yet Another Rhythm Game or something. Yarg.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. I don't know. So that's a whole world, right? And the thing about this is, like, it doesn't matter that this is This machine isn't future proof in terms of future AAA games, because it will always work for playing the last 30 years of games. You know what I mean? So it will always be good. I'm trying to think, what's the actual limitation in terms of it going obsolete? It would be the equivalent of like, oh, HDMI doesn't exist anymore or something like that. Because otherwise it's like fine. I have the exact same thought process with my Steam Deck, right? Okay, yes, this new thing is a heck of a lot more powerful than my Steam Deck, but I have my EmuDeck library on an SD card in that thing, which, in fairness, I could just unplug and immediately put into this new Steam machine, and it would work. Yeah, it's amazing.
For the other thing, I realized pretty early on I could do with my Steam Deck was, hey, I've got another SD card that has Banacaredron on it, which has Sinden support, so I have a whole OS just for light gun games.
Right.
And it's like, you can do this. It's all possible now.
I mean, the possibilities, I know you've already in this world with the Steam Deck. For me, I want it on the TV, and the Steam Deck docked would annoy me of not being powerful enough to go from 720p to the 4K 60. So or equivalent or whatever.
There's definitely things. I mean, I run a lot of indie games at 4K 60, no problem.
I'm sure.
That out. There's some stuff that struggles, but if you're in that kind of world of Steam, the deck is still absolutely fine. But it's
absolutely, and it's got the advantage of being like a Switch that you can take it with you. But I have a Switch too, and I love it or whatever, but I never pick it up. Right, it's always docked. So for me, like, and in terms of
used my Switch 2 in my hands, I've got to be honest. Like,
and in terms of the hardware stuff, like, you're right about that Digital Foundry saying like 8 gigs probably isn't quite enough or whatever. And it's like, for me, the thing about this would be the same as with the Switch 2, is that like, because I can afford it, I'd rather it be more premium. And that's what my fingers were crossed for with the Switch 2, and it turned out they made it powerful and expensive, basically, the Switch 2. So I was happy because I think it's future proof.
It's juicy enough, the Switch 2, I think.
Exactly. So I have the same feeling of this. Is like I'd probably pay more for that 16 gigs of VRAM. But I mean, the more important thing is to have a standard, just like with the Steam Deck, where they can have a certification program and a target, for people, and it be popular. And the Steam Deck is popular, so if they make this a good proposition, it'll be good for me, because everyone out there will do all the work to get whatever thing emulated on it.
So here's the thing: I wouldn't say that Steam Deck Verified has necessarily been a success. All that really means is that Valve thinks it will run on a Steam Deck, not that it will run well.
Fair enough.
So, that is a bit of an interesting point. I think what has been more useful is there's a community effort called ProtonDB.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
that you can
which will obviously be apply to the new machine as well.
Yeah, exactly. You can get there's a Decky plugin that you load in, and it puts a little badge on it to say like, this runs well in Proton. Then if you really, what's more interesting is actually like, it's worth looking like clicking on those and reading the community thread to be like, here's how it runs on a Steam Deck, here's what's wrong with it on a Steam Deck, and things like that. That detail is there, but it's not necessarily Valve managed. The community has sorted that out itself, but that's also like an amazing plus point, if you ask me. The community got so behind Steam Deck and have improved it. Like, EmuDeck is an amazing platform. Like, it's just so easy now to, like, okay, it's effort. There's still effort involved, but, like, the fact that it exists, that I can run my entire emulation library and update it pretty easily on my TV, it's fabulous. Like, well done, community. You just, like, lent into this thing so hard, and I'm so happy that you did that. It can only be a good. This thing has got momentum behind it, and it's got a consolidated momentum behind it. Like, it's just gonna. And I hope this thing makes a foothold. I hope the Steam machine, compared to the Steam Deck, makes a foothold, because so far it feels like everything went like all these. We haven't seen much in like the mini PC for your TV space yet. If you think like everyone's been making handhelds like this, like the Asus and the ANEOs and stuff like that. There's been, is it Lenovo? Yeah, the Lenovo Legion, right? The people have been making handhelds in this form factor, but like no one's really thought of like, well, what if we just make a PC for your TV? So I hope this works, because if it doesn't, then we probably won't get a Steam Machine 2, and
or 3, depending on how you.
Yeah, or 3, and that would bum me out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, let's see. But I'm hype enough. I'm totally excited. Even another like weird. I was like, even if I do want to play a game with a mouse and keyboard at my desk, like for example a strategy game,
sure.
If I could run it on the Steam Machine and I could play it on Steam Link on my Mac, I could run Command and Conquer Remastered.
Sure.
And I could just play it.
Yeah, my experiences with Steam Link have still been spotty. I've the only time I've really done that was streaming stuff from my PC to my TV, which had for a while had a working Steam Link app that I could get for my TV, and it was like, okay, cool. I don't have that solution anymore. That app got discontinued. For Samsungs. I don't know if that's still true on modern Samsungs, but on mine you can't use it. And I did find the latency to be a problem. It wouldn't be a problem necessarily for Civ or games like that, or
Civilization,
or turn-based games. You would be fine.
Yeah, okay.
But I did
because that's the only kind of game I would want to play that way. I think.
Yeah, what was that kind of? I think we tried Lethal League on it once, and it was okay.
Oh well, but that was ages ago. At this point, you'd hope that if they were still working on that tech, it would be better by now.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that it is. That's the problem. It's always latency based and encoding time based. It's always been the issues, and all that stuff gets offloaded to hardware, right? If you've got like an H.264 chip on your graphics card or whatever. So it's the latency of that's more important.
Well, but also if you imagine it's something that the way Dan's saying to basically pull from the Steam Machine, then it could be better integrated with the Steam Machine's hardware.
Correct, yeah. If the Steam Machine is geared up that way to do this, and it does it like the Wii U. Sorry to like invoke that, but the Wii U's latency was pretty good.
Yeah. That's one thing, not for streaming the actual game, but like there is some depth on how the proprietary protocol for the controller to either to the machine itself, or if you're using it with your PC to its own like dongle, is like it's like a cut down Bluetooth that's super good because it doesn't have to worry about all the other Bluetooth stuff of
to an
compatibility.
Extent, I thought they were using what is now fairly standard 2.4 gigahertz. Which is what 8-bit DOE have been using for a long time now, because that's proven to be reliable and low latency. I thought the puck you could get for your PC for the Steam controller was effectively using that.
I think it's something similar. Yeah. They did say that the Steam Machine has a separate antenna for that than it does for Bluetooth, for example, or wireless. Okay. Which is kind of neat.
Oh, so you don't need the puck with the controller.
You actually don't need it. I think it comes with anyway, but you don't need it.
That's cool.
If you have for the Steam Machine. Yeah.
That's cool.
Although you might use it just to charge it, because it's kind of cool how it has a magnetic clip-on charger thing. But yeah, don't need it.
And in fairness, Steam Input is one of the most compatible systems I've ever used. Like it so far it's accepted everything I've thrown at it, and it goes, yeah, I know what that is. And it's like, okay, cool. let's roll.
So yeah, I'm super excited. Do you guys want to play some Left 4 Dead? Yeah.
Always.
I mean, actually, fuck yeah.
Yeah. If I could get that on my TV with this thing, then why the hell not?
I mean, Zach and I could play with mouse and keyboard on our PCs, and it would all sing together. It's cross-play, baby.
Yeah, baby, it's the future. And then the other thing they announced, of course, which even might tempt me as well, which is crazy, is a new VR headset, right?
They did, yeah. I was holding off on talking about that, but you're absolutely right.
I don't know if there's more to say on the rest of it, but
oh my god, eBay is just like breaking news. eBay is reminding me, hey, you should bid on this Sega Saturn that's really cheap. Should I buy a Sega Saturn?
What are you going to play? Panzer Dragoon?
Probably, yeah.
Knights or something.
Something or other.
Fucking Knights.
Fucking Knights.
I've never played Knights.
I think I did at some point play a tiny bit of Knights.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, Steam Frame.
Steam Frame.
Yeah, they've announced basically a Quest. So it's a Quest that runs SteamOS. and has access to your Steam VR library. And it's like, well, okay, cool. Go for it. That sounds like a neat idea as well. Mainly because that's how I've mostly used my Quest, is I just sync it to my PC and use Steam VR on it.
And at least with the Steam one, you won't have to have a slightly weird hack layer to make it through that.
Yeah, it doesn't need to have that extra step of having Oculus load up the Steam VR app and then Steam VR app syncing to your... Well, actually, no, it's more complicated. The Oculus layer then goes to Oculus PC, and Oculus PC then runs Steam VR. It will just be all on the device. It's like the Quest, and then it will be running on the device. And I think they've said this thing has Steam Deck-like power. So that's immediately got me a little worried, because it's like VR is it's a bit of a power hog generally.
But it also can stream from a PC or Steam machine.
And if that stuff is smooth and seamless as Oculus is, then great, that'll actually be an easier option. Do it.
My question that I haven't seen them answer is because, clearly this is going to be able to run Beat Saber standalone fine.
That
stuff like that.
Expensive real fast. I guess everyone got that notification. It just went woof. Okay, never mind. I'm not buying a Saturn. Sorry, breaking news.
But the obviously for me is like, well, what game do I want to play on a VR? And it's the one that's got to work on the Valve one, isn't it? Because it's Half-Life Alyx, obviously. And it's like, I didn't see. Obviously, that will work with the Steam machine connected to it, but I didn't see them saying whether Half-Life Alyx would run on it standalone. Which probably not.
I mean, I think it would be a mistake if it didn't, but also I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't run. Because it might be a bit of an ask.
So the interesting news about this, that if you dig deeper is new, I suppose, that is kind of potentially interesting, is that in addition to Proton, because this thing is ARM-based, there's now a translation x86 to ARM translation layer as well. Yes, not for the Steam machine, which is x86, but for the frame, it's ARM because it's a phone, right? Wow. It's a Snapdragon. So now they have a Rosetta equivalent, right? So it runs double Proton and this thing, which is called like FEX, which is all open source and everything, but they're contributing to it heavily. So that means they're moving towards potentially an ARM chip.
That's a detail I didn't notice, because I thought this thing was basically a Steam Deck in a headset.
No, it's ARM, which is really interesting.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. So this is their first step in that direction. But you could see a future where they have chips like the Apple chips that are ARM-based and run PC games.
Have they done the thing that Microsoft have spent like the last decade trying to do?
Yep. I mean, who knows how good this is? But obviously, this is early days. Like Proton's much more established, but this is
that's
amazing. I know. I think it's called FEX, FEX or something, FEX.
If they couldn't give any.
I know.
Man. Valve, man.
Valve, man.
They always were an impressive company, but like when Steam turned up, who amongst us thought this was a good idea? Like I remember like when Steam started, everyone thinking, "What the fuck is this? This is a pain in the ass."
That's because it was before the age of digital storefronts. That was like literally the first one at the time, pretty much.
And look at them now; they're literally blowing my mind.
I mean, that's just a coincidence. The first one could have easily been like Origin or whatever, and we'd still be using it now, but no one would really care as much.
I mean, here's the thing:
it's a long time
Origin
ago,
wouldn't have existed without Steam.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. They could, if Origin had been the first one to do it, if EA had been the first one to do it instead of Steam, would we now have just EA be the overlords of the world? Probably not, because they're just like a regular company. Valve has that other element to it.
Yeah.
It definitely was a slightly dick move at the time, which was a good move on their part, but it was a slightly dick move to force you to use Steam for Half-Life 2 and Counter-Strike 1.6. But that's how they got the adoption, right? At the time, it was new and it was a bit wonky.
So as long as they don't lock Half-Life 3 onto the Steam machine, we'll probably be okay.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to do that now. But at the time,
they
that
move... now.
That was a bit of a dick move at the time, but it was worth it to establish Steam. Because otherwise it could have just failed if they didn't have the install base. By attaching it to like the biggest game
I remember the LAN centre we used to play at being particularly pissed off because it actually meant they had to buy licenses for every PC, right?
Yes, they did, yes.
Another very specific ancient problem.
I know, that's not a problem now, clearly, but it broke there. In a way, it broke the LAN centre business model to an extent. Which is a shame. I do lament the loss of the LAN centre. They were cool, but...
I mean... They survived for a lot. LAN centers survived a bit longer than that until everyone started doing it.
Until everyone went online.
It was like
it was when the internet got fast enough.
It was when Blizzard moved to their launcher and it fucked up StarCraft, and then Korea was like, "What the fuck?" It's like that was basically the fall of LAN centers. As soon as you need to buy a license for every machine that's running StarCraft,
I guess in those countries, I don't know that was ever this. Here,
but that's why LAN centers. That's why no one kept supporting LAN play any longer, because it's like we don't need to worry about LAN play any longer. LAN centers no longer exist.
Oh man, if we were to go down that road, I think things like Xbox Live are actually like the true killers of LAN centers.
Well, obviously, online play was the killer of LAN centers.
Yeah. Xbox Live made online accessible to a much bigger audience, therefore you didn't need to necessarily go to a centre and know how to use a PC to rig all that up, It was just easy once Xbox Live turned up.
And LAN centres were a weird product to start with, because we never did this, and it was not, I don't think it was as popular in the UK probably, but you could just make your own LAN. We could literally have just lugged our PCs into the same room and made a LAN.
I know people
at any time.
I know people that still do that on a semi-annual basis, and it's
we did it with the Xbox, didn't we?
Well, sure. Oh man, slightly different.
Oh, Halo 2
System Link was a weird situation.
You could totally do that with a Steam machine. It's pretty portable, right? You can lug that. I could bring that, probably.
Oh my god, Master Chief Collection Halo 2 LAN parties on Steam machine. Fuck yeah.
I'll fit that in a backpack, I'm pretty sure.
Fuck yeah.
But that was why that was the business model of LAN centers, was like doing a LAN but without the inconvenience of having to carry your damn PC everywhere. Yeah.
The last time I got invited to a LAN event, I don't think it ever happened because I didn't end up getting... I was probably uninvited, let's put it that way. This was when I still had my last machine, and it's like, okay, it had a carry handle, but that thing freaking weighs a ton.
That thing was massive.
Yeah. I didn't really. Well, it's like it's such a palaver because it's like, okay, now I would have wanted to have brought my monitor and its stand, and like I would have had to find the stand for my monitor because it's on a monitor arm right now.
But just imagine if you'd been doing it in the olden days where you would have been carrying a CRT.
And we used to do that. That's the amazing thing for the Halo 2 parties. People. Like, we would lug CRTs around.
Yeah.
But at least in the last year of uni, like, enough of us had CRTs enough of us had TVs in my house that wasn't a problem. But, oh boy. Someone would still bring a TV. And it's like, that's effort, man.
The whole thing was effort. That's the point.
In the end, at uni, our house was just, like, almost permanently networked. So if we did decide to do one of those, it's just like, yeah, it's fine. You sit here. There's a port ready for you. We were prepped.
So yeah, Steam Frame.
Steam Frame looks cool, but yeah,
it looks cool.
Like the only reason I don't, it's for me, the lifestyle of VR is a little tricky to find time for these days.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not a parent-friendly device. Which leads me, conveniently, onto the next news story. I'm going to segue into something else. Let's talk about Black Ops 7, shall we?
Is that a
plot?
My segue is that there's no pause in the single player.
Okay.
Because fuck you, Activision. I like as a dad, I need a pause.
I think supposedly it's like designed for co-op or whatever, and they didn't. Don't ask me why.
No.
No.
Like, if if you're on your own, like, okay, yes, the game may be designed for 4-player co-op. That's fine. That gives me Halo 5 heebie-jeebies, but Halo 5 let me pause.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Black Ops 7 is mostly under fire for its pretty egregious use of AI assets. This is what I meant earlier.
And not even in a subtle way, annoyingly.
Yeah, not even subtly.
It's not even just like, here's some textures where if you look at them, you can be like, well, that looks like a bit of an AI job. It's just like, here's the type of AI art where you can immediately tell it's AI art because it's got that exact AI art style that all AI art has.
Yeah. I mean, people had suspicions about some of the billboards in Mario Kart World, right? Like that they might have had a hint of AI about them in terms of the design of them, but then were touched up by a human later.
Well, but they're like
maybe that there's absolutely no proof for that. But
those are like logos, though, right?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Even if that was AI, it's barely going to change the outcome. Like,
I guess
put the word of a company on an icon.
Sure, there's absolutely no proof of that, and personally, I doubt it. But that was in the frame. This is like count the fingers on hands territory.
Well,
and the anime filter, right?
Yes.
Like it's like
that's why I mean by the AI art style that is the AI art style. You'll immediately recognize it if you've been paying attention to AI art in general.
So it's weird because I use for jokes for work primarily. I use Gemini to generate images on a frequent basis, and I actually really struggle to get Gemini and ChatGPT to make the style you're talking about, like to make a convincing anime-esque style. Like even Copilot, like when you load that thing up, it shows you pictures in the home screen has like something that's like done in that Ghibli-esque anime style, and for the love of God, I can't make it actually look like that. Like I don't know, like everyone says it's like, oh, it's easy, like yeah, this is just the default, and it's like my experience is so far from that. I'm not denying that that's what they're doing in any way. It's just weird to me. Like I don't have. I think
it's the OpenAI one that does that.
Yeah,
I think it's the OpenAI model that does that.
Yeah. But that's GPT, which they're kind of almost all based on, right? Okay, Gemini's not based on that. That's Nano Banana.
It's Google.
But
Banana. Yeah.
Which I personally think is a step down from their last model, but Copilot uses GPT under the hood, and it's, I think by default, unless you're using GitHub Copilot, and then you obviously have the choice of what model it uses. Anyway, I don't know. It's weird. Like, well, I'm glad you all recognize it because I kind of don't. Like, that's not my experience.
I mean, regardless of whether you even recognize it, it doesn't even fit with like, Black Ops. It doesn't fit with a military shooter theme, really.
I mean, those title cards and stuff were always kind of wild, and that was the point.
I mean, sometimes you can, it's funny to have it be a clashing style, but,
yeah.
But not when it's really obviously what the AI art is. It's like,
I mean, COD hasn't exactly shied away from especially in multiplayer, away from like not being that strict or that. What should we call it? Like sensible, with its keeping its military stance. But
I just don't think the people who like COD would like that style. It's basically what the main problem might be.
Maybe
I think they want their icons to be a bit more hardcore when they unlock some super hardcore achievement or whatever.
You want them to all be like a do-rag with a skull on it, or
yeah, exactly, or a skull with a do-rag on it. Either way.
Yes.
Or both.
Skull wearing a do-rag with a skull.
I heard you like skulls.
Oh, I love that idea. Just a skull with a face mask on it that's also got a skeleton on it. That's so good. Yo, dog. I heard you like yo-yos.
There's not really much else to say about that. People are pissed.
Yeah. I haven't really heard anything about Black Ops yet. I know it's only just come out, but it's just, in terms of what if the game's actually good or not, I haven't really heard anything, but it's,
And you won't get to play it this time.
No.
Because you don't have the Game Pass to convince you to play it.
No. And
not that you
don't
have a bunch of other things to get through anyway in the meantime.
That's true. I'm not short of games, but also, the lack of a pause in the single player that's kind of a deal breaker for me these days. So screw you, COD. In other news, we got some announcements. Assetto Corsa. Oh, well, no, I was going to, let's stick on the AI front. Let's stay negative and come back and let it end on a high, shall we? Subnautica 2 publisher Krafton has informed all its employees that they are allowed to take voluntary resignation as it commits to using AI instead of people, and then that's my wording. But they basically said if you want to resign now, that's fine. Go ahead. We'll give you a package and stuff like that. We want more AI doing your job. They've just straight up said that, and it's like, okay, this probably doesn't leave Subnautica 2 in a particularly great position, right?
No.
Well. No, I guess it depends, because we don't really know how far they got through Subnautica 2 development before all the other problems started.
Yeah, before everything kicked
like how
off.
much of the assets and the stuff was the programming, I guess, was already done. Like maybe if it's just like AI textures get made, maybe that might still be okay.
Maybe
People won't be happy about it, but it might not completely ruin the game.
I'm not necessarily for that kind of element. I'm not necessarily against AI, right? Like if it's taking like a starting point for a texture and you need it touching up in a specific way to make it fit within the game, maybe that's all right. But like if like the way Krafton are talking about this, it's like they almost want the whole identity of the game to be AI driven. And without like calling out Krafton too much, they're just the headlines. It's like this isn't an uncommon standpoint, especially the names escape me, but like a lot of Korean developers have recently had a very similar stance, saying, "Hey, we need to pivot to using AI tools heavily as a survival tactic." Hey, I'm pulling all of that stance from a Kotaku article, by the way. That's I don't have really any information to back that up, but
I mean, not to get into the whole AI bubble malarkey, but like as soon as they actually start charging the amount of money these things cost, this is not going to be viable any longer.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, because it's like that's the other part of this story. Krafton has just spent $70 million on buying an AI cluster. Like, well, at least million.
At least they'll be running it themselves, but they'll still have the electricity costs, I guess.
Yeah, that's not as. I mean, yeah, having all the gear is one thing. Yeah, actually running it isn't cheap either. I mean, we thought Bitcoin was bad. Anyway, that's not a good look. Like, I don't think Subnautica 2 it can't be in a good place.
Well,
right?
I think
like,
Subnautica 2.
All of this,
I think Subnautica 2 was already had already been written off at this point before the AI stuff.
Yeah.
So with all the legal thing that was going on beforehand, it's like, yeah, okay, we'll just give up paying attention to Subnautica 2 like we did with Kerbal Space Program 2.
Yeah, as if it didn't have enough against it. This is just adding to that. But then what is that team anymore? Like, what is the Subnautica team these days?
Yeah, exactly. How many got out in the legal trouble stage?
Yeah, exactly. GTA 6. I hope you're not that hype for it because it's been delayed.
Delayed again,
yeah. This time slipping another good half a year until November 2026.
Into the big release window, right?
Yep.
Just to screw up everyone else who knows now desperately scrambling to get out the hell out of the way of GTA.
Who had originally rescheduled to try and dodge them this year.
Yep.
And now going to have to try and do that again and dodge them next year. I wonder if Rockstar are just doing this for fun.
Probably. I hear that the game is finished and it's all polished, but I mean, Red Dead 2 came out quite relatively nicely polished compared to their previous games, which were a bit wonky. So,
Red Dead 2 in particular, is that what you mean? Like,
yeah, Red Dead 2 was pretty good on launch.
Solid, yeah.
Yeah, earlier games like GTA 4, not so much.
And even Red Dead 1, right? That was
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Do you remember the birds
swap?
that were like people flying through the air and stuff like that? It was so bad.
The PlayStation 3 model swap bug
That was
is
so funny.
So good.
I love it.
They really should have left a toggle in that game somewhere. It'd be just to
happen.
Force it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, they won't release the games in that state anymore, which is a shame. So they delay it. Okay, fine. But yeah,
I remember the first time you showed me what was going on with that bug, and it was like the Mexican fort, siege or something, and you're defending it, but the guy telling you what to do had been replaced with a dog. The animated really weirdly.
Oh, so good. Yeah,
and Donkey Lady's obviously a classic, but
so yeah.
The bird people. Sorry, that just reminded me what that looked like. Yeah, that was real good. Oh man,
I do think now it's November now, isn't it? And it's I'm looking out the window, it's all dark and cold and miserable. I feel like that's a good time to release a massive game. I feel like November will be better than May.
That's why everyone has always done it in November.
Yeah, regardless of holiday time, now is a good time to play video games, at least in the UK.
Yes, in the UK.
This is normally where I settle into the longer games, right?
So I think this will work out with Grand Theft Auto 6.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
but Grand Theft Auto 6 has a summer theme, kind of, because it's Florida.
Yeah, you'll feel a little summery. Well, I mean, not almost as hot, but not quite as the desert in Red Dead. That really did feel quite weird in the depths of winter.
Like Red Dead 2 had, you started in the wintry bit, right? So
That's true.
It would be funny if they made the Grand Theft Auto 6 game set in Florida, but they set it in winter in Florida, so it's kind of shitty weather. It's not actually the really nice weather.
That'd be funny. Yeah. You get
I think winter in Florida.
I mean, it's not that shitty. It's still Florida,
not even cold, but it is probably
just be slightly overcast more often.
Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah.
Is that what the G stands for? Grey.
I still think Hyrule is slightly too rainy in Breath of the Wild, in particular, where it stops you climbing.
Yeah.
I think it's less rainy in Tears of the Kingdom. It feels less rainy. Maybe that's because I'm underground.
You're spending a lot of time underground and above the clouds.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know that that's true. I think it rains just as much.
And also, you don't need to climb as much.
Yeah.
You can just do other things.
Oh man, I wish that climbing in the rain, the armor was in Breath of the Wild.
Oh man, yeah.
The whatever froggy suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes such a big difference.
Yeah, he's so good.
Alrighty, that's the end of my bad news. Dan, you pointed out that Assetto Corsa Rally has been announced, and all I know of that is that it's been announced and that the initial reception seems positive. I know no.
Yeah.
More.
I've just seen a couple of videos about it. It looks quite good. Obviously, this is very, very simmy, but I can't. Does the Assetto Corsa scale back a little bit to relatively normal people potentially? I'm just thinking compared to this looks like very simmy compared to I don't know, Dirt Rally or
I believe it was Assetto Corsa was always built as a sim. I have no real concept of its scalability. I don't. Skill-wise, not in terms of performance. That's what you usually talk about. I don't know if it's sliding towards more the Forza model, with because that's obviously scale that scales right to slightly more casual players. I don't know if it skews that way or maybe it's like Project Cars, which also tried to do that, right? Be more horizon-y.
Because what I've seen of the rally is from people who are the semi people who have the ridiculous setups, with the full, basically completely wrap around projector screens or whatever, with a motion chair, with a steering wheel that detaches and all that shit, and the whole deal. In fact, I just saw a video where it was a guy who learned to be a real rally driver through these sims.
Yep.
And then they got him to do an actual rally and then immediately go into this game in his sim rig to, within 24 hours compare, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, it looks good. But I'd be curious how much that scaled back to you being able to play it with even with a controller or whatever.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah, does it scale? Is it playable on a controller? Which not every racing or even half sim necessarily gets right. My my
but
recent
cool
comments
this
about
exists.
Forza Horizon 5 is, kind of attest to that. Like it's not always right.
I think I'm still more interested personally in single player rally than track stuff personally.
Right, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in fairness, it's been a while since we've had like I would say a real knockout one, right? But Dirt Rally 2 is probably the latest, the last one we had.
Well, yes, obviously.
I mean,
they don't make the rally games ever.
No, Codemasters don't anymore, right? Because Dirt 5 was handed off to what was the remnants of Evolution Studios, right? When Codemasters took those on, so it wasn't Codemasters as you know it that made Dirt 5. EA have now just basically stopped all of that, right? So we're not really going to get one of those games. Well, they might let us have another WRC, isn't that the thing? Because like they did make that.
Well, yeah,
but that was Evolution Studios again that made that. So it's
the WRC branded ones will probably continue and be extremely average in the way that they have always been.
Yeah, they're always okay. They're not bad games, but they're not Dirt Rally.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the news. Quite a bit this week.
Well, that's not all the news. The very last thing on my list is that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is up for a Indie Game Award. And that has caused a little bit of controversy because what even is indie? It's another one of those. It happens every single year, right? The Game Awards has that as well in its own indie categories, and people like there's always something in there that it's just like that's not an indie game.
I would say no, it is not.
Right. So why? Just as some stats from the outside, like it is a publisher-led game. It's published by Kepler, and its budget is reported to have been somewhere in the region up to $25 million.
Right. So, if we look at budget, what's the budget of Silk Song or whatever?
I mean, probably quite high because it's been in development for an incredibly long time, but probably not 25 mil.
Yeah.
It's a different. I think money's a difficult argument because it's like that means you need to draw a line somewhere. You need to like have put a line in the sand to say, yeah, you've crossed this this marker, this arbitrary marker, so now you can't be called indie. And that may be a little difficult. So, some more background here. The creative director of the IGA's, Mark Towndrow, I hope I'm saying that right. They say that they consider indie, quote, a developer having the independent freedom to create in an unrestricted environment, fully swing for the fences, realizing their vision. Which I guess essentially means they didn't have their publisher or corporate overlord wasn't telling them what to do. And it's
so Death Stranding's an indie game then?
Yeah, I mean that's the argument, right? That pretty much anything Hideo Kojima has ever made should be considered indie, right? Right?
No.
Yeah, it's
wrong.
It's a really difficult thing. And the only stance I think I can agree with is like, is it like that it's vibe based, right? It's like how do you feel about the game? Does it feel like a corporate overlord had their hand in it? And it's I mean, honestly, in this case, like Claire Obscure doesn't feel like it has that, right? It doesn't feel like, having played that game myself, like it doesn't feel like anyone was telling them how to focus test the shit out of it, you know? Like,
but does Mario feel like that? I mean, what?
I mean, kinda. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, Mario feels so refined, so rounded that it doesn't necessarily and Donkey Kong Bananza and that kind of stuff. Pretty much anything Nintendo makes feels like it's probably been through 1,000 people.
I guess,
like a Pixar film, like an Illumination film. There's a certain. I don't know. I really have, and I think they struggle with it as well. I don't know how to word that feeling, but there's definitely sometimes an edge to it where it's just like. Yeah, I don't know if they were. I don't know that this vision is as. Maybe it's just about rawness, in a weird way. Like Mario doesn't feel like it's a raw vision. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Does Claire Obscure feel like a raw vision? I guess?
Kinda, yeah. Like they would. And God, this sounds even worse. But maybe it's because it had rough edges. Maybe it wasn't like. But that's not a good discriminator either.
No, I don't.
It's a super hard problem. Like,
yeah.
I kind of get where they're coming from, because it's like, if the game was developed truly independently, then yes, that's what indie technically means. It's the word. But is it in the spirit of where the term originated, which is, Super Meat Boy and stuff like that, where they really were independent developers independently publishing their own game to get it seen and stuff like that? Is it in the same spirit? Clarity is probably too big. It's probably too big. It's like, my vibe check says it's indie, but yeah, it's probably too big. Zach has nothing to say.
Not about that.
Nope, don't care.
No, especially not about categorizing games like that. Just give it up at this point. Just shove them all in one big category.
Yeah. I kind of get where, why we have things like the Indie Game Awards, right? Or why there's an indie category. The whole idea is to spotlight smaller, less necessarily, less marketed.
The trouble
maybe it's a marketing thing. Maybe it should be the least marketed good game.
The trouble is that the categories are always dumb, and it also doesn't work in the other direction, because the occasional times where they have let basically an indie into the higher tiered categories or whatever, people are pissed about that as well. It's like when Banacaredron nearly won Game of the Year, and it's like everyone's like, "What the fuck is this indie shit doing here?"
Yeah, which I highly disagree with that as a not Banacaredron's presence, but as a contention. Why should we if it's that good? Who cares where it came from?
Well, yeah, but that's the other side of this same argument, where it's just if an indie game is good enough to go into Game of the Year, then just get rid of the indie category. We no longer need to highlight the small games if they can fight a Game of the Year straight.
Yeah, I suppose I realised, as I said it, the antithesis of what I just said, it's if it's that good, why do you care where it is? Does that mean, if you're categorising it as indie, are you basically saying, well, that game's clearly shitter?
Yeah.
Which is not what I'm saying. It's you're the best of the sub-tier of games.
Yes.
You won the championship, not the Premier League.
That's clearly how we should start ranking everything. Here's a tiny bit more news. Now that Rob's done with all his news.
I'm done with my news, yeah.
They finally announced DRG Season 6.
Oh, shit.
In Q2 of next year, but still.
Oh, what?
Oh, no, wait, Q1.
Oh, okay.
Season's Q1, the early access of Rogue Core is Q2.
Oh, okay, right. That's not that far away.
Well, no. Well, depends what they mean by... It could be anywhere in that quarter, of course,
sure.
But... They finally announced Season 6, and it's weird because they had to delay Rogue Core's early access some more because they want to keep working on it, basically. But, the whole point of there not being Seasons of Derg again was because they were working on Rogue Core, and now they're putting out this Season 6 before Rogue Core's early access is even out, and everyone was like, hang on a minute. But the actual answer is they've basically just bought in another studio to make the Seasons of Derg.
Oh, I see. Right.
So they're kind of handing off the development a little bit.
In the same way that Deep Rock Survivor wasn't technically made by
the
Ghost game.
Not as an independent, not as a separate game, I guess.
Right, yeah.
It's just this team is building the content, which is probably fine. But then the counter argument that I had to that is when they showed the previews of Season 6 stuff, I was like, this doesn't seem like enough work. If you've handed this off onto a new developer, couldn't you have gone a little bit harder?
Right.
Because it's just going to be, it's a new biome and a new mission type.
Depends when they made that decision.
Well, sure, yeah. This is the first one of this, I suppose.
Yeah. It's going to take a new studio a while to ramp up to it, especially if it was a recent call.
But yeah, it's a new biome and a new mission and a couple of new enemies, but no guns or anything. It's new biome and new mission is good for content.
You know what? Yeah, I'm into that. I'm into new enemies are almost the more important thing, right? I want more interesting things to shoot.
Definitely not infused about the 2 new enemies they've shown so far.
No.
Well, you've got basically another cave leech, except it's a burrower, so it's in the ground.
Oh. So does that mean you can't see it?
Well, it points up, little bits of it stick out or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So you can.
Well, that's probably not
theoretically
so hard to spot.
There.
Yeah.
But that's barely counts as an enemy. That's an environmental hazard.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And then the other one they've shown is like a little scarab beetle thing, but for some reason they seem to think that people like fighting swarmers, which is what they're going for with this, where it's another version of a swarmer, except it can also fly. And I'm like, no, I do not like fighting swarmers. Actually, it's really annoying because they're these tiny targets that are really kind of awkward to hit.
Haven't we already got a swarmer that flies anyway, in those little electric things?
Well, kind of, but they're not really. They don't act the same as swarmers do in the enemy pool, I suppose.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know why you'd want another type of swarmer. Swarmers have always been annoying.
Yeah,
that's why there's that whole fucking, mission warning or whatever for Swarmageddon, and everyone hates it. And no one ever wants to play Swarmageddon missions.
They are quite annoying. Well, unless I guess you could just.
I mean, you can spec for it.
Burn them in your shield, like.
You can spec for dealing with it. That's what you might want to do if you're going to a Swarmageddon mission. But and also this new,
like the flood on Master Chief's shield. Right?
Yes,
just burn them up.
This new enemy type that they're making as another kind of swarmer has armor as well. So it's not, you might not even be one-shotting them, which would be the worst. Make the swarmers even more annoying to kill. I guess as long as you can still one-hit them with melee, because that's actually how I deal with swarmers nowadays. It's like, just swing the pickaxe and as they arrive, and they'll just pop them. That's fine. Just like Flood in Halo.
Yep.
Melee attack.
Don't waste your bullets.
Although in Halo they also explode adjacent ones, right? That's why it's actually more easy to deal with in Halo.
And those are kind of fun, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of wish you had that in Derg. That should be a perk. Like how there's that incredibly pointless perk that no one ever uses of loot bugs explode if you walk near them.
Oh right, yeah.
Auto pop the loot bugs. What if you could auto pop swarmers? That'd be better. That'd be a way better perk.
Or there's some sort of...
Or a shield upgrade.
Yeah.
Like an electro field just around you that does a tiny amount of damage, but it's just enough to kill the swarmers off.
Isn't there an event that makes them all a bit explosive?
Yeah, but that doesn't apply to swarmers.
Yeah, okay.
That only applies to medium and up.
They should change that rule for those events. So swarmers just pop around and pop. There's nothing... That's one of the most satisfying things, actually, about, and actually that was true of Survivor as well, when you pop the explosive ones, that they pop all the nearby explosive things, and, a chain kicks off, and it's that's satisfying. Give me some of that.
But yeah, with no new weapons or anything that they even announced so far, so maybe they will be, but... And everyone still wants a perk rebalance, because those haven't been changed, basically, ever.
Forever, yeah.
And everyone has, 200 extra perk points because that's that way that perk unlock tree works.
Yeah.
So they've never added any more either.
Give us something to use those on.
Yeah. And, for those of us who have ground that game a bit too much, it's
you.
Yeah, and a bunch of other people, but I don't have anything to make with matrix cores any longer. I just get minerals out of matrix cores now, so no more overclocks.
Yeah.
And when are they ever going to do anything with the error cubes? What are the error cubes for?
Yeah. I mean, it's better than a lot of games, but yeah, the same argument I throw at any roguelike or any kind of game of this, it's just after a while, just go wild, man. You can be a bit crazier than I think most of it devs realize. And then you can always just go more.
Well, I mean, they have kind of done that over time. Well, there's the difficulty 5+ and stuff where it's they did allow people to ramp it up even more.
Yeah, but it's not like in terms of bonkers stuff happening. It's that's just hard. It's
Sure.
I want. It's almost the same thing as the Borderlands problem, right? It's I want guns that are weird or can be modified or have random events that makes them weird and wonderful and mental.
Sure. But
give me more random.
I guess designing those does take some amount of time.
I'm not saying it's easy.
You can just randomize the stats. You can just randomize your whole loadout. Use the random beer.
Yeah, you don't even want that. You want Yeah, you want new and weird effects.
But that's what Rogue Core's for. Yeah. That's the actual roguelike.
Well, yeah, here's hoping.
Dirk isn't that.
Here's hoping it's that Rogue Core is that, and it does get wild and doesn't turn into like a Splatoon 3. You know what I mean? Where it's like
incremental upgrades.
It's fine, but yeah, it's just like Deep Rock Survivor, same thing. It's fine, but it's just a number going up.
I haven't actually watched any videos about Rogue Core, obviously, because I'm trying not to. But like, I have naturally been seeing YouTube thumbnails.
It's the same. I noticed they like on a similar note, they Nintendo put out another Metroid trailer.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna watch it. Like,
okay, I won't mention that at all then because I know something about that and it's a thing. Oh, it's a thing of some kind that I'm not going to specify.
Okay. Is it? Do you think it's spoilery, or like is this Nintendo oversharing, or do you think it's quite an early like this is the game thing?
Yeah, I mean it's probably early in the game. It's not like, but yeah, I suppose if you don't want to see any of that game, you probably wouldn't want to see any of that game. Yeah. That's fine. You already know about the motorbike, and that's probably too much already.
Probably.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Doug.
Oh right, yeah. But then I forgot what I was saying about Doug.
I guess we're done.
I guess so. I guess that's the news. I played some more Doug, I suppose.
Segue.
Yep. I've nearly finished season 5. Conveniently.
Taking you a while.
Yeah, well, I did fall off the grind at a certain point. I was like, and also once they announced that they weren't going to do another season until like Rogue Core's early access was done, I was like, okay, so there's no dramatic time limit I have to get through this for before the next season. I played a small amount of Dirk.
You didn't tell us what the season 6 biome was.
Oh, it's just like bone caves.
Oh, okay.
They said that they're basically making both the biome and the mission kind of more like an old school, sort of like how the salt pits is like the old school style of biome where it's kind of simple.
Okay.
So they're doing the bone caves where it's just kind of brown and bones, and there's not anything too much complicated about it.
A bit like the sandy one, but with like...
Yeah.
But with like dry Bowsers hanging out.
Yes, pretty much. And then the new mission type is like another sort of... I guess you would compare it most directly to like Egg Hunt. You have to find the thing and then...
You've really got to be careful when you say that. That sounded like something else in my head.
You find the thing and then you attach rockets to it and then it flies away. like the simplest Dirk missions are. Mm. And maybe that's an element of new studio getting up to speed that they also wanted to make something simple for that purpose as well.
Yeah. Get something out of the door, know the sequence, and then do something more ambitious second. Yeah, I get it. Maybe we'll get a 6.5 or just go straight to 7 quickly. Or maybe it'll be like 7 will be the part 2 of 6, like how 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah.
Because 5 is a standalone at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's things I've been playing. Dan, do you want to just do the little intro for the start of what we've been playing, just for podcast consistency? Okay, he doesn't.
He is muted right now. I don't know what's going on.
For consistency?
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
Yeah, there you go. It's just like the new start of news. You have to just ask, and then we can continue. Even though I already segued into what I've been playing.
The power of the host should not be undermined.
We're halfway through, you talking about Dirk.
Well, yeah.
What have you been playing?
Yeah, I played a small amount of Dirk. And then the other things I played.
Okay. That's good to know. We need to add we can't have it to be too seamless. We've got to add the seams back in.
Yeah, exactly. It felt weird to just start talking about what I've been playing without having Dan say a thing.
I've said a thing.
Yep, you said.
What have you been playing?
Other
than Dirk. Unless you want to talk more about Dirk, in which case I'm not going to stop you.
No, I think we've sufficiently talked about Dirk.
Okay.
I played some more No Man's Sky because they've done... I kind of forget that they do this, which means I've already missed several other opportunities for this, but around the end of the year in No Man's Sky, since they've been doing expeditions, they basically do, like, expedition reruns.
Oh, okay.
Because the expeditions are, like, time-limited events.
Sure, yeah.
And this year... They're mostly rerunning the expositions that come out this year. So, like, because they actually did quite a lot of them this year with, like, the 2 different Corvette ones and then the weird Halloween one. They're rerunning all of those. But randomly, they're also, well, I guess it's either over at this point or it's got, like, a few days left at this point. But they reran Exposition 2, like, almost the first one.
Oh, okay.
But Exposition 2 was the one where you can get the Normandy for your fleet. So now I have the Normandy in my fleet.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's pretty neat.
But it's not even that good. Well, okay, it's like average, and I guess it's like a dual stat frigate grade ship, because it's a frigate, not like a ship you fly.
Okay.
It's for the fleet. But it has like good combat stats and decent exploration stats.
Right.
So you can dual purpose it. But it's not even like the combat stats aren't even that good. Although I think it maybe gets upgraded one time. Like, it starts at S-class, but with the way frigate upgrades work, there's, like, the class... Once it reaches S-class, it can still get a little bit more upgrade past that when it completes more missions. So it might get at least one stat upgrade beyond, like, what it spawns as, essentially.
A thought just occurred to me.
Yeah.
And it's not No Man's Sky related. It's more Mass Effect related.
Yeah.
But you know, like in sci-fi, like it's not necessarily uncommon for human ships to be named after human towns.
Sure.
Or human places, like the Normandy. Doesn't really happen when you hear about alien craft, right? Don't they? It's not like the Klingons like refer to their ships as.
Well, how often do you hear aliens call their ships anything?
A name, yeah. It's just but that's kind of interesting in itself. It's like, I don't know. It's this is terrible because I was about to I was trying to think of like, how can I come up with a Klingon name for a ship, but all I could come up with was the Red Dwarf Takadal.
I mean, obviously it happens in Halo, because the Covenant ships, well, High Charity, I guess, but like I presume the other Covenant ships probably have names as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if they actually refer to them in the game. I'm not sure I can remember them.
What's the frigate that you get on in Halo 1? That has a name, right?
There's, well, what's it? Pillar of Autumn, then is Forward Unto Dawn, right?
Those are the human ones.
Yeah, I was talking about the Covenant cruiser.
The Truth and Reconciliation,
That's it, yeah.
They have cool names, yeah.
So they do.
Infinity, that's a human one as well. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think they got it right, but it's quite a rare thing, right? Anyway, just an observation.
So yeah,
I think the human ships in Mass Effect are named after battles.
Yeah, not the town of Normandy.
Yeah,
or not really the town.
No,
region,
but you know what I mean. It is kind of the same thing, though. Like, our battles are named after where they were, so it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, slightly different theming, but it's not like
It's just that if you're trying to fictionally come up with fictional alien spaceship names, you then have to invent fictional places and battles to name them after, which is more effort. But I'm sure they are. Like, I'm sure the Klingon ships, like the Bortas or whatever, or I can't think of any other. That's the only one I can remember. That's probably a place on.
Let's go, everyone, to the Mos Eisley. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't make sense to have if you were naming spaceships that after like non-historical battles, you'd run into problems because then you'd be like, this ship is just called Jupiter Orbit. Like, this is where the big battle happened.
I mean, it is a bit like that. Even in Star Trek, the big battle with the Borg is Wolf 359, right?
Yeah.
Which is an actual human name for an actual star, I think. That's why it's 359. It's like the Battle of Barnard Star or something.
But then you wouldn't call a ship after that.
Yeah. What's the Trek test again? They wouldn't name a ship after that, right?
Oh, because the Kobe Marashi.
Yeah, Kobe Marashi, because the test got too famous, right? That's why they don't name a ship that. And it was a failure, so they wouldn't want to celebrate that, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's meant to imply it's a kind of Japanese ship or something, the Kobayashi Maru, I guess, because isn't that like the name?
Yeah,
what you call a fishing ship or something?
Yes, it's a reference to something. Naturally. Anyway, other things I played. I played a small amount of the time-limited event of Kirby Air Riders.
Right, yeah.
The demo global test thing.
I really did want to have a go at this, but the times just ended up being awkward.
Yeah, it sucked for you in the UK times because it was just like, these are not good times.
No.
It's like it randomly stops at like 12.
Like this morning and a weird sliver of Saturday. Yeah, it was a strange set of times that just didn't work for me.
They didn't really have any evening slots, I don't think. That was the big problem.
Yeah.
And it was all weekend. Well, I mean, being the weekend should have helped, but that doesn't help everyone. Doesn't help Rob.
No.
But yeah, I played a small amount of it. I only played racers, and the racers were only CPU, so I didn't... It was dumb because they were like, oh, this online test event, we'll let you do the tutorial before the event, or if the event is offline at the time, you can do the tutorials.
Which I did. I did the lessons, but not all of them, admittedly. I did like the race lessons.
Right.
I didn't do the city trial
lesson. Well, there's not really much. The race ones are actually most of them.
The controls.
Yes, basically. But they don't let you do the races, even though the races are CPU races. They don't even let you do them when the event's not online.
Which is
dumb. But yeah, I did get in and managed to do them. And,
So is that first track that you do the lessons on, is that actually as short as it seems?
Yes.
Okay.
It is. That track is real tiny.
Right. That's a mild concern.
Yes.
Are the other tracks that short?
Well, the thing is, there's 3 tracks that they give you access to in this thing. You have that Flower Fields one, which, yes, is real short. You have the Ocean one, which is... sort of medium length, I guess I would call that one. It's longer than the flower one. But then the third one, they have that like autumn hilly looking one, the mountain track. But I can't tell on that track because it's set to be one lap. But I also don't think it's a lap. It feels point to point. I can't, but I haven't like perceived how the start and end of the level might match up if it does.
Interesting. Okay.
But it feels point to pointy. But then why would they call it a lap? And how would it work if it wasn't if it was a point to point? Would you be able to do more laps or whatever?
Would it just chain the track indefinitely? Or
yeah, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that track is a bit longer and a bit more complicated, certainly. But it also might just be a point to point, which might mean you could never do more than one lap of that potentially. But yeah, I played it, and it's weird. I don't know how I feel about it. My problem with it in general is that. And again, we're talking about the race specifically. Maybe City Trial is the best thing ever, like everyone always says it was. But it barely feels like a race. You don't even feel it's hard to tell where your opponents are. It's hard to tell if anything is hitting anything. It's just stuff is generally happening, and you don't even perceive. I barely even know what place I'm in most of the time.
Oh.
And then it ends. And it's
and then it ends.
I think it's partially the problem is the problem is firstly because there's all the random enemies on the track for you to attack and gain boost and whatnot with. That already makes it difficult to tell whether it's is that an enemy or is that an actual racer? Because it's just an icon or a small model somewhere in your field of view. It's and also because obviously in some cases the enemies are literally racers anyway, so it's is that a Waddle Dee a racer or is that Waddle Dee just an NPC in a minecart? Especially when they're in a vehicle or whatever, and it's that's not is that a racer? No, it's just an NPC in a minecart that you can attack.
Right. So it's got a bit of a
readability problem. And then the other element of that is that the power-ups have no real impact. Even when you get hit by them, it's you barely notice you're going because obviously in Mario Kart you get hit by a shell and you have a big old animation and you basically stop. Whereas in Air Riders it barely slows you down at all. It's just something probably hit me maybe, and the same applies to make your attacks hitting other people. So yeah, I don't know about the racing doesn't really feel like racing. It feels like time trial with obstacles.
Interesting. That's weird because, there must be some element to it. Otherwise, the game wouldn't hang together at all online, right?
Yeah, I couldn't tell, what from only. I mean, obviously, only playing it a tiny bit is what are there tactics? Is there? Because the other problem.
That's kind of always been my read on Air Riders. It's that there must be tactics, but that those are not necessarily as apparent as you might think from racing games in general, if you know what I mean. Like, perhaps it's not the same skill set in a...
Well, I mean, I don't feel like the weapons are going to be the tactics.
No.
Because, like, even when you do have the weapons, it's like some of them are completely useless to you if you're leading. Some of them can't even be shot backwards, so those are like completely useless.
Right, and do you mean like as in just the copy abilities that Kirby can get? Because not the other characters can't get.
No, they get all the copy abilities.
Oh, do they?
Yes,
I thought that was like pointed out in the direct that like only Kirby.
No, they
got
pointed
those.
out that was how it was in the original, because obviously Kirby was the one in the original and really was kind of the only racer in the original.
Right,
but
I misunderstood.
Now that everyone has the ability to have the copy abilities,
I see.
The only thing that's different between the characters is the special move,
right?
Which in Kirby's case, you get a different one depending on what color you are as well.
And the character's stats, right? They do affect the machines to some degree, supposedly.
Yeah, I mean, that's not something I was going to be able to tell on this shorter amount of playtime.
Yeah.
Although I did try different machines, because that was something I was wondering about, is like, do the different machines make that much of a difference? And it turns out they definitely do. Like, those drive completely differently in some cases, and extremely differently.
I mean, that to me is the most interesting part of the game. But
unfortunately, that's probably not great for the multiplayer either, because it just means that, like, after a week, everyone will be using the same vehicle. Because it will just get bettered immediately.
I suppose you're right, yeah.
It'll be fun, cool for time trial and solo racers to be like, learn how to use this machine's specific quirks to get the best times or whatever, but won't work in multiplayer.
Not that it matters with the time trials because they're not online.
Sure, but I mean for your own stats collection. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That it seems fine.
Yeah, that's more negative than I was hoping for from you. So that has indirectly tempered my hype. Because I couldn't get a feel for it from those lessons. It's
no. So I don't know. I don't know about, again, didn't play the possibly most important part, but but how much is one level of siege roll going to cost?
Yeah, can the whole game hang off that, really? Or the whole £57 of...
Yes, exactly.
Of game, can it hang off that alone?
And then in other shorter things that I played a demo version of a game called The Last Caretaker, which is another random survival open world sort of building game. People have been comparing it to that one called Raft, where you're on a raft and you build the raft and do survival things, grow crops and get water to survive, that kind of stuff.
Get water.
Except in Last Caretaker's case, it seems to be less crafty. So you're a robot and you're in a water world situation, like climate change fucked everything up and it's just water now. Apart from these random oil rig type things dotted around the world that are maybe randomly generated, it seems like that might be the case. And then you have a boat rather than a raft. It's just a regular ass boat that you can sail between them, and then you have resource limits of fuel and whatever that are running out over time. And then the goal is something to do with launching rockets into space, of course. But yeah, it's sort of in the vein of those games, but it feels less about the building and more about the exploration, probably. And there's some amount of combat as well, fighting little other mini robot enemy things that weirdly hatch out of organic looking eggs. I'm not sure why they're robots that come out of these. It's these weird sort of starfish looking things with tentacles that you find growing around the place. And you think that some kind of bug or something is going to come out of those, but then it's tiny robots. It's why is that a thing? Probably because there's only robots left in this world or something. It might be a Horizon situation.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn on the water.
But yeah, it has I think its main trick is probably the the crafting seems like it could be interesting, but it's hard to get a feel from the demo / the starting area of this game, because they give you really easy access to the crafting machines and the recycling machines. Because there's one built into your boat, which I presumably, because you're taking that everywhere with you, you're always going to have access to that. Whereas the ones mounted in the actual platform you start on are like in a fixed location or whatever. So I don't know how complicated the crafting part of it's going to get like that from like the resource collection element. Because obviously the idea is you're picking up all these random pieces of junk and chucking them in the recycler to turn them into resources and then crafting them into base parts. But the main thing seems to be a sort of puzzly element of cable management where you can craft like power cables or diesel fuel lines or whatever, but then like they have a limited length and it's like it's physically simulated cables. So it's like if you need to if you dock at a platform and it's like, oh, the only power output for it or the diesel fuel tank is way up here, so I'm gonna have to snake this cable around and I only have I can only make so much cable.
Right.
So I have a limited length of cable to work with or whatever. That might be its main trick. And the same for power. You have and connecting to solar panels and wind turbines and that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, it seems kind of cool. It might be kind of badly optimized. But that's an early access game for you, really.
Not necessarily their focus at this point in time.
Yeah. And then the last thing I played was a whole relatively large amount more of Stationeers because I was still half committed to the year on the moon thing for that damn achievement. But, I eventually was like, I need to do something else, but I still want to play more Stationeers. So I just ended up doing more starting on different planets, but in brutal mode.
Okay.
Like the brutal start where you start with basically nothing. Also because I wanted to I was going through them in order of difficulty basically to practice the brutal start to get towards the harder. I think I already have the achievement for surviving 30 days of brutal on the hardest planet, but surviving 30 days doesn't really mean you've successfully conquered that planet. Because on the moon, which my long-term moon save was also a brutal start, that's relatively easy because you're in a vacuum. So when you you make your box to breathe in and eat in, eat and drink in, the box where you can open your helmet, you just chuck ice in there and then it just makes an atmosphere and it's that's that.
No.
Because you're in a vacuum, obviously. So you're starting from nothing. So you just put oxygen ice on the ground and then you have an oxygen environment and you're good.
Gotcha.
Whereas then I did the brutal start on Mars, which has a really tiny amount of atmosphere, so it's not completely trivial to vacuum out a room, but you still have to do it. So that's still relatively easy. And then I did the brutal start on Europa, which is slightly more difficult because Europa has a pure oxygen atmosphere, but it's negative 140 degrees. So you can build your base box with atmosphere in it and then heat that up to make a breathable environment, but there is still ice instead. So you could just get that. Because I think they probably need to change that at some point, but ice always melts at 0 degrees. So even though you're standing in an oxygen atmosphere that's negative 144, the ice you pick up off the floor melts at 0 and then turns into 0 degrees oxygen.
Okay.
So it's actually still better to vacuum out the naturally occurring atmosphere and just melt the ice because then it comes out at 0.
Right, yeah.
So they should probably fix that at some point, I would say. The same applies to the gases trapped in ores, because I showed that kind of in the video where I was talking about degassing the ores, where you can centrifuge them to pull the gases out before you smelt them, and then that prevents the gases from being released in the furnace.
Video available on our YouTube channel.
Yep. The actual reason to do that, though, is because the gases that come out of ores are also always at 0 degrees, regardless of the actual temperature of the environment.
Oh, right. It's just a default.
Yeah.
They're just
And it's not even just a default that they haven't thought of even, because there are a couple of situations where they have thought of it, like coal and charcoal. If you centrifuge the gases out of those come out hot.
Oh, okay.
Because they're kind of imagining that you're going to be burning the coal and then that will release the gases, and therefore it would make sense for it to be hot.
Oh, right, but not necessarily under the centrifuge.
No, but not under the centrifuge.
Right, yeah.
So in that case, it's a weird, opposite version of that problem.
Yeah, okay. So the gases must have a default table, but not necessarily a contextual.
Yes, it's not dependent on the planet or anything, or the actual outside environment, which it should be, which would make much more sense. So that's how you manage Europa. But then this is all training for like the really hard ones where you get to the hot planets like Venus and Vulcan, because the brutal starts on those are slightly different because those planets have no ice at all. So there's no water ice and there's no oxygen ice and there's no volatile ice. And so the brutal starts on those planets start you with extra oxygen and water, so you can survive a little bit longer before you need to worry about that. But because you can never get more oxygen out of the environment, it's like, how are you going to get more oxygen? So you either have to rush for a trade platform and then call in traders, which is the much easier option, but slightly at the mercy of RNG, because it's like, what if the trader that sells gases never shows up?
Right, yeah.
Or the alternate option is to start a like greenhouse loop where you plant the crops to make oxygen and then turn the oxygen into water, which you think wouldn't be a net positive loop, but because you're introducing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere of the planet, and I'm not sure if this also applies to Venus and Vulcan, but on Vulcan you can also use the volatiles from the atmosphere to burn with the oxygen that the plants are making to turn it into water. So because you're introducing those two elements in addition to the loop, it's net positive output of oxygen and water, basically. So theoretically, if you're fast enough, you can multiply your plants sufficiently to eventually produce more oxygen than you're breathing and more water than you're consuming and more water than the plants are consuming. So that's like the hard way to do it. I was watching a video of someone attempting this, like the greenhouse method, and I was like, okay, he might make it. We're gonna have to see how this series of videos goes. And I was thinking about how I would do it in that situation, but then I was like, surely the easier answer is just trade, because all you need to get a trade platform up is to get to steel, basically. And especially on Vulcan, during the day on Vulcan, the outside air temperature is hot enough to smelt steel, like, naturally.
Oh.
Like, you literally don't have to use any fuel, you just chuck the iron and coal in a furnace and it just turns into steel.
And your suit doesn't smelt?
Well, no, because your suit can survive higher temperatures than that. Okay. Much higher temperatures. But yeah, I was just like, surely the answer on Vulcan is just to immediately build a trade platform, because you only need to get to steel-grade materials for that, and steel is basically free on Vulcan. You would be at the mercy of the randomness. Maybe the trader that sells gases or liquids would never show up and you just die, but it's a much easier method to solve the problems of that planet than trying to build this whole water recycling loop with the plants. So yeah, maybe I'll get round to doing that. Or maybe I'll finally stop playing fucking Stationers. Maybe I'll finally take a break from that and play something else. I keep fucking thinking about going back to Satisfactory and Factorio, because both those games I never finished the current runs of those things for like two different reasons. Because the Satisfactory, I was doing that run where I was making a video and then I lost a recording, and it's like, oh no, that's boned up the video series.
You just go back and say, like, well, this happened.
Yes, I mean, that's kind of what those videos already were in Satisfactory. It's not like I was doing the whole video.
In real
I was
time,
doing little cuts.
Yeah.
Little sum-ups, so I could just go back, and I think it's probably been long enough that I will have like forgotten enough of what he said in that video. Right. I'll be like, oh yeah, this is just like making a new video at this point.
So it's fresh.
And then in Factorio, I have this weird alternate problem where I remember too much of Factorio, and then I'm always just like, as soon as I start thinking about, I can go back to that Factorio save that I never finished, I just remember why it's really annoying. I just remember all the problems I was in the middle of working through, and I was like, oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. Yeah.
But then the temptation is just to start over, which is also a bad idea. Because I don't even know how long that save file was, but it was probably quite a long time.
Yeah, probably.
But then I also, at some point I want to start over anyway to get the achievements that I need to start a fresh save file in Factorio for. The one particularly annoying achievement being like, you have to not kill an enemy base until you do it with artillery. So you're not allowed to shoot an enemy base with any normal type of gun until you've got through the tech tree to get the artillery, and then you're allowed to destroy the enemy bases.
Okay, weird.
Which sort of means you're...
Like how I used to play Total Annihilation.
Yeah. Basically. it sort of means you're not allowed to, like, it sort of would restrict your ability to expand, but in the space age version of Factorio, they one of the things that they changed was they give you the ability to set target priorities on guns. So you can basically configure your gun turrets to specifically not shoot enemy bases and only shoot enemy units. And then what you do is just, like, surround the enemy bases with gun turrets that only kill the enemies as they spawn and never actually destroy the bases. So you can still contain the enemy bases
okay.
passively without having to... Or you can choose the even cheesier way of just, like, once you've got that, like, gun turrets camping the spawns, basically, you can then just, like, fill in every tile around the spawners with walls so there's no spot for the enemies to spawn, and then you can just leave it.
I see. Yeah.
Which is dumb, but, like, that is a way to deal with that problem for that achievement.
So this is, a somewhat similar approach to that planet you showed us on Dyson Sphere program, also on our video, where you had, like, a farming fight.
Yeah, kind of, except there's no bonus to doing it in Factorio.
You're not actually farming.
You're not getting resources from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the temptation of going back to Factorio and starting a new save. But, like, god damn it, I really need to finish that run.
Yes. Get it done.
Well, I want to get it done also because then I can look at the stupid Galaxy of Fame or whatever it's called. Like in Dyson Sphere where they have that...
white stripes in there now.
In the Galaxy, yes. It's like how in Dyson Sphere program they have that Milky Way map where it shows you your, like, everyone's scores or whatever for every seed.
Oh, I see. Right.
But in Factorio's case, I think I haven't actually seen it because I don't think you can even see the option to see it until you've finished a run.
Right, yeah.
But, like, I think it actually maybe uploads your save. So, like, you can theoretically look at other people's bases.
That'd be neat. Yeah.
Maybe. Or at least a screenshot of their end game. Like, I'm not sure if it's going to be a single screenshot or like a freeze frame maybe of their whole save, so you can't run it, but you could, like, look around it maybe.
Yeah, like a vague idea of what they did.
I don't know how it actually works. It's probably not anything that complicated. I mean, the uploading the save thing might be possible.
Yeah, sure. I mean, how big is a save file?
Yeah, probably not that big.
Factorio.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I played. But I kind of need to stop playing Stationeers and play something else. That's why I played The Last Caretaker, really, because it's like
a palette.
I really need to play something that's not Stationeers for a minute. And Kirby also.
Yeah. I'll tell you what else we played.
Yep.
We played a little bit more Fury of the Fairies. No,
we did not.
No, we did
That's not what that game is called. That's just the name that is stuck in your head.
I did that again. No, it's Full Metal Furies.
Yep.
I did actually remember it this time.
Very Fury.
Okay. We played a bit more of that. Like, we're still trying to
get through the secrets.
Well, we finished the main, like, the bad ending playthrough now. So now it's all about, like, uncovering the secrets and trying to figure out what the computer codes are.
But the trouble is that, like, we finished the bad ending final boss thing, and in some ways we might have been hoping that, like, doing that would reveal something that might make the process easier, but it's pretty much just told us to go back to what we were doing.
Yeah.
Like, go back and continue to grind your head against these complicated puzzles.
Yeah, I'm with you. I had hoped it would unlock something, or we'd get an item or something that would be like, okay, this is, or at least guide us to something. There's definitely a few things we haven't done. Well, like, we know of that, but, like, there's a few puzzles we know of that we don't know the answers to, which are quite annoying.
And also, technically, we haven't played a level since we finished the game, so maybe it does change in some way.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe there is, like, an almost New Game Plus change to it in some fashion.
I mean, that whole game is almost New Game Plus from the start, though, right? You level up your characters and you just go where you and do what you want.
Well, sure, I suppose.
Except the levels don't get harder. Except maybe they do. Maybe there's a way of, like,
well, that's the other thing that it might
levels, or
well, that's the other thing that it might do in this, like, in the post finishing the bad ending, it could potentially have changed every level to be different.
So I don't know that it would have, because then you would have leveled up the other members of your team.
Yeah.
Easily, anyway. Yeah, no. It's the puzzles are fun. Like, but they're at the point where now we're the ones we know of. We're just like, we don't really have a clue. Like,
or like the ones was it gone where we do have a clue. It's like this seems like it should be the thing that we do, but it's like
it's not.
We're obviously just not quite doing it exactly right. Probably,
or we've completely. It's one of those ones where it's like we're either we're on the right lines and we just don't quite know the nuance that it's trying to convey, or we're so far off.
Yeah,
that and it's blinding us. One of those.
Yes.
But yeah, that game's still cool. I'm still enjoying it. Maybe we'll probably end up playing a bit more tonight. Maybe could see if we can solve some of these mysteries. It's cool. Yeah. What else have I been doing? I remembered that what I should have talked about in the last podcast is I neglected to talk about the fact that I finished Keeper.
Right.
So this is a while back. That game changes a fair amount in the back half. Like, you're not... I don't know how to say it without necessarily spoiling it, because I don't know what's in the trailers and stuff like that, but let's just say your method of locomotion changes a couple of times in the back half of that game, so it becomes still kind of the same thing, but a bit different, especially the back part, the last part, that's quite different. You're not really doing the gameplay that you were doing at the start of the game in that section. I still think that game perhaps is reviewing better necessarily than it should. It looks pretty. It's got it's got that Double Fine vibe all over it. It's a nicely made game, but is it one I'm going to be remembering for years to come? No, I forgot about it last week that I'd finished it. So
But that's not unusual for you, though, really.
Not necessarily, no. I'm amazed I remembered it now. It's fine. It's good. From an artistic perspective, it's a good experience. If you're still on that there Game Pass, why not? Go on. You won't be disappointed in your time in it. Let me put it that way.
I've still got too many other things queued up on my Game Pass before it goes away that I'm definitely not going to get to.
So yeah, that happened as well. I no longer have Game Pass. I pulled the trigger on all that. I am out. But what did I do while I still had it? Well, I played a couple of levels of TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Okay.
Because that game is fun. And I also went back to Hi-Fi Rush for a bit, because that game is also fun. and great. So I don't really have anything much to add to that other than I've completely lost my skills in Hi-Fi Rush.
Is there any reason to go back to that game in general? Does it have a new Game Plus type thing?
Yeah, it does. Once you've been through the story, you can go back. There's at least 4 different difficulty levels in a sort of Devil May Cry kind of way, so you can go back and tackle them with harder things. But there's also bits of levels you couldn't get to before in Hi-Fi Rush because you didn't yet have the abilities to get to them.
Right.
And so there's a bunch of doors called Spectre doors that you can't get into on the first run through. So you have to go through it a second time to find those. And inside those doors is a combat challenge of some description. A little bit like... Oh, I think they were called... Well, I forget what they're called in Devil May Cry Land, but that had those, and Bayonetta has those, right? Those challenges, the witch trials in Bayonetta, you go into them and do them, but those are locked as separate things in Hi-Fi Rush until you go through it a second time. There's also a fun sequence break you can do in one of the levels where... spoilers, I suppose. There's a character you meet who has the ability to punch away a certain type of enemy armor. But of course, I had that ability when I encountered that enemy the first time.
Right.
And so you punch away their armor, and the game knows that you're doing this, and so you beat that enemy, and then it goes, the characters speak to you over your head radio or whatever, however it's done. He's like, yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen, was it? And it's like, don't worry, I'll play the cutscene as normal. And it's like, great, well done. Thanks for calling that out. You made a joke out of a stupid scenario. I love it. That game continues. It's just so much fun playing it. I love that game. I love how it all gels together. The humor is fantastic. It's another reason to hate Microsoft is what that game is. It's like, they let that thing come out, but what did you do to my boy, Tango Gameworks? It's like, and who knows what form they're in now under their new owners. Because apparently that more Hi-Fi Rush is coming, right? That's what they said.
Yep.
Ugh, man. Yeah, that's still fun. What else did I do? Well, I suppose I've finished the main story, I guess, or the main thrust of Octahedron. I finally got through that thing. I think my opinions worsened on it in the end, because like some of those levels, especially towards the end, they do get harder, but not necessarily in a fun way. Like when that game is hard, it's annoying. More than like partly because of the long checkpoint distances, partly in some cases because there are a couple of levels where there's just they throw everything at you, like every mechanic all at once. There's one level where it's basically a tower you have to climb with limited platforms, tiny little platforms that you have to stand on. Most of which actually are invisible most of the time, apart from a tiny little outline that flashes when you put a platform down. And then there's every enemy in the game coming at you whilst you're climbing this thing. Take a hit and there's a little bit of knockback in this game, so there's a good chance, like, unless you've got a platform ready or you time your landing correctly, you're either going to take more damage before you land somewhere safe, or you're going to fall a bloody long way down. It's a really irritating stage, and it's hard to get through, let alone getting the 100% on it for getting all the items in it and stuff like that. So there came a point where I was just like, sod getting the awards, sod getting the get through in one life, sod getting the 100%. In the end, I think there's only like 2 or 3 levels I didn't get the 100% on. But I don't really want to go back to them because they're so painful. And there's a couple of places where I do not know how it's possible to achieve it. Like, not because I haven't found a trick. Like in some levels there is a trick. Like there's a bit of wall you could destroy, or a route you just didn't see, that would be a way to get down there and get the thing. But there's one level in particular where I just don't know how the timing works. Like, I don't know how it's possible for you to get the item with the way that room moves, or the way the stuff in that room moves. The most irritating enemy in that game are these little piranha plant-like things that, if they have line of sight to your platform, will just snatch it from under your feet instantly. And that is so irritating. Because you don't really have a jump, and it will just snatch it under you, so you don't have a chance to react to it. It's just gone, and you're falling, and you're boned almost all of the time. Those are incredibly annoying. I do like the very end of the game, like mild spoilers, I suppose. The game gets to a state where it's kind of breaking. Like the last part of the game is like the world is kind of in a messed up state, and that those last few levels are kind of fun because it's like they're not as challenging as the ones that came before it, but they mix up. It's a little bit mixed up as a result, and those are just kind of fun. So that was nice. And as I've said before, like the best thing about that game is its whole vibe, right? The way it looks and the way it's sort of incredibly bright RGB with a hint of VHS aesthetic, just a tiny hint of VHS, and it's like, and how everything is in time to the music and all that element. That's its real strength. And I played a bit of it in handheld mode as well, and boy, does that game pop on the Steam Deck's OLED screen. It looks real nice on that. It's a cool game, I think, let down by level design that I think we would make in places.
Lol.
It's the kind of sort of thing that when we were making games, right, that would be like level 2. We would have gone too far already.
Yeah.
So that's Octahedron. But the bulk of my time has been on the very graciously lent Donkey Kong Bananza.
Oh yeah.
That Zach had a physical copy, so yeah, I've got his cart right now. That game's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's pretty good. Let's just come out and say, is it Mario Odyssey good? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
But it's pretty good. Pretty good. And I think my main gripe on that front is that it feels quite one note.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I would agree.
The game has its thing that it does well, and the whole game is that. That said, like, it is kind of hard to put it down once you get going, and like it's one of those games where I just like, I don't know. There's been some nights this week where it's been like 10 o'clock in the evening and been like, it's like, oh, I'm not quite ready for bed yet. I can't be asked to try and figure out what to play. I'll just put Bonanza back on.
Yeah.
And then a few hours disappears, and I'm like, oh fuck off. That's a bit later than I thought. I need to actually go to bed. It does just keep you going. Like, the loop is satisfying enough that you're doing that. And the get a banana jingle never gets old, right? They're just that pew banana.
And he eats it up. It's so good.
Exactly. That never gets old. Like, it's great. The presentation is like firing on the right cylinders for me. It's nice.
I think aesthetically I prefer Mario Odyssey, for example.
Oh, absolutely.
But I like that this is different.
Yeah. Mario Odyssey comes across as your, let's say, slightly highbrow, jazz-loving platformer.
Yep, for sure.
And Donkey Kong comes along and goes, "Bah, Skrillex." No, there's not.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
it's not even what the music's like, but you know, it's that sort of.
I mean, the guy running the first level is trying to be a DJ, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, for Zach's benefit, I'm as far as the Frozen sublayer.
Right.
So I haven't yet got my second Bonanza, but the you know, not only does it telegraph what it is pretty early in that section, it just flat out spoils it in a couple occasions where you just see it where it just says, you know, this is the giraffe Bonanza, and it's like, oh, you know, if you hadn't watched the directs or something like that, it just straight out like says it out at a couple of points.
Yeah, I guess.
It's more in the gear shop, right? Because you discover gear that says, "Oh, this improves your giraffe Bonanza," and it's like, I didn't even know I was going to get one. Technically,
oh sure, yeah, because you get to the shop before you get to like the elder, basically.
Yeah, and perhaps it should have like just a subtle thing, but perhaps they should have just not told you what that gear did until you had the thing. Like, you know, the little, and that's a real minor nitpick, right? That's.
I mean, they could have just kept it out of the shop, because they do that like one time right at the end of the game. There's one shop where you go there, and because throughout the rest of the game, it's running on the same basic idea as Odyssey, where it's like you're going to collect the local currency and then buy these.
The stuff in that town.
Buy a tie and a shorts for Donkey Kong and a thing for Pauline.
Yeah.
Or 3 things for Pauline of different colours. But, like, you expect that to happen on every one of these shops, and then, like, the last shop in the game, there's, like, you go there, it's like, hang on a minute, there's nothing here for Pauline. What's going on? I have this extra currency left over. That can't be right. But then it's just because it's not in that shop yet for specific reasons.
Oh, okay. So
Which, like, they could have done that at any point, but they only did that one time right at the end of the game.
Oh, okay. Right. Sure. Yeah, I see. They could have done that. Yeah, and it sort of mildly confused me with it about the gear shop, right? And the other colours is right where you can. There was one where I just bought the other colour first, right? But you can still level them up, and it like I don't know. There's some weird inconsistency about how that UI works, and like how are they all those outfits of the same type level together?
It's because you have to
shows it on the first one.
Yeah, it's because when you're buying them. The alternate colours are like a one-time purchase, but buying the base one gets the upgrade tree. So buying the base one allows you to then buy the base one again, essentially, to upgrade the stats, but the stats apply to all of the different colours of it.
But you can buy the
coloured one separately.
But you can buy the alt one first.
Yeah.
Yeah, which then means you don't, I can't level this one up on its own. I've got to buy the base
from
one.
then on, you learn always buy the base version first when you have the cash for it.
Yeah. So it's a little confusing like that.
And never buy the weird shitty half-statted one.
Right.
Like, why would anyone ever buy that apart from completion?
Yeah, the last thing
you have the currency left over.
So, question for you, right? So, like in the very first challenge room, and I do quite like the challenge rooms. They are nice. Like the restrictions it puts on you, they're kind of. Like feel like the level suddenly has a purpose rather than you just being I can work my way around most things.
Sure,
yeah.
Sometimes, apart from when they kind of don't restrict you enough, and it's like, whoops, I've just solved this puzzle by cheese.
Yeah, there's a few like that, but not so many. They're normally pretty tight. But But on the very first one, I couldn't help but notice something above. The very first one I encountered was the one where it's a swinging challenge, right? And there's blocks coming at you from the side that you either have a little hole in or you can just punch through.
Right, yeah. Right. Like it's just a big long hanging thing and the blocks push you off. But they don't push you, they push you like along.
They push you along.
Until you reach the edge and then fall.
Which is a little strange, but it doesn't matter. And the secret banana on that one is to climb on top of one half of that level.
Yeah.
Now, when I went near the launch barrel of that, I noticed that if I looked at it and looked to the right, which is the opposite side of where that secret banana was, there was a sort of... something was floofing up there. Like there was something animating up there. And I haven't seen that on any other challenge level. And a bit of me was like, is there like an extra secret in these things that comes up at some point? But I did have a go at trying to get up there, but I couldn't quite figure out how. Like, actually, it occurs to me now that I was doing it in completely the wrong way. There's a much easier way of trying to get up there.
Right.
So maybe I should go back and give it a go.
I mean, I think every time I went to like somewhere like that was where it's like, this seems like where you would put a double secret or whatever. It's just like going to be like a gold spawner or whatever. It's just like, you're just going to get a little bit of extra gold, but it's not like something big secret.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Maybe
probably one of those gold fountains.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I didn't think of that. It was kind of bloomed against the skybox.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see it that easily. But yeah, it's those challenge rooms are the Mario Odyssey formula. There's always three bananas. There's always the easy one, the end one, and then the secret one.
Yeah. And I don't mind that formula. It's kind of fun because you know what you're getting into. I think there's been one where it's the floor, the floor only showed. No, there's only two on this one. Oh, those are normally the time challenge.
Yes, there's a freeze for the usual ones, and then two.
Some of them, not all the time. Some of the time challenges have a third, but there's definitely been a few where there's. The combat challenges have all been like a nothing.
Yep. Like, well, because they only last 30 seconds max anyway.
And they're ridiculously easy. Like, I think I've only failed one once, and that was because I didn't realise the trick to it. And it's like, well, until I got to the end of it and like just ran across the environment, it's like, oh, right, I see what you wanted me to do now. And then it became really obvious. But that's about it. So I don't know. That's kind of what I mean. It's like with the one-noteness kind of like there's... And I agree with Giant Bomb's take on this as well. It's like the combat side feels so underbaked compared to the punching through terrain side of things, right? Like, because most combat just like what is he? Is he concrete? Right, fine. I need Kong. Let's punch that guy.
Yeah.
Is he not concrete? Oh, fine. I'll just punch that guy.
Yep.
And I don't need to be a Kong Bananza. Like, and the boss fights are over in like 30 seconds, if that. Like they're all ridiculously easy.
Well,
and it's
so far, I guess.
Well, okay.
They get slightly more interesting. The middle ones.
Yeah, there's like this big event is like supposed, and it's like, there's a fight coming up, DK. You better watch yourself when you get there. And it's like, yeah, it's done. What are you talking about? It's done.
Well, I mean, obviously the first two are limited by the fact that all you can do is punch, really.
Yeah.
So like, they can't really do anything different at that point.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot yet. I haven't been 100% in the areas that I've been going, but I've been getting nearly 100%.
Yes, because that's kind of what you naturally do.
Yeah.
And presumably you've already started being just like so that everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Just ping, ping. Where am I? Oh, it's a new room. Ping, ping, ping. Clap, 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 clap. Oh, there's a thing over there. Let's go. Whenever I see a thing ping up, it's like, well, I'm going there.
Yeah. Directly.
Yeah.
Through the wall.
Through the wall. Yep. And then, sometimes bypassing some of the you find out art when you get there. It's like, oh, there was an intended route for this.
Yes, there's just a mine shaft or whatever that leads right here, but I just punched through the entire mountain.
Or that one time in Canyon level where there's a thing that burrows and makes a floor for you to follow, a tunnel for you to follow.
Right.
That kind of leads to something. And it's like, well, that might have been useful before the fact, but no, I just punched my way there. And there were times where I didn't necessarily realize the trick that they were trying to do. Like it took me, like, especially in Canyon layer, like I didn't realize you could attach to the like patched on bits of the smokestacks, like even the ones that were oiled up so you couldn't climb. There was like, you could sort of puzzle your way up a few of them through and I'm sure that's what it wanted me to do in one case, but it's like, nah, just punch through the ceiling. Get to it, like, dude, go the long way round and punch around and don't worry about the platforming, it's fine. And And I guess that's the whole game's vibe, right? It's like, yeah, we don't care. Just do what you got to do. Get it done.
There definitely was a couple of times where I just built an incredibly long bridge by throwing stuff and sticking it together.
Right.
Whereas, like, I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but I'm here now. So.
I only really discovered the shifty brick mechanic kind of by accident.
Right.
Like nothing written had really described it to me at that point, and I sort of inadvertently pushed the wrong button and hussed something at it, and it's like, oh, that's solidified. Okay, cool. I know how to do that now.
Right, yeah, because I guess there isn't a tutorial for that, really. It's just like...
someone does tell you it eventually.
Yeah, is it like Cranky or something where you one of those?
In Lagoon Layer. No, but Cranky's on the island you have to get to, and Ramby's just at like the other
side. Oh, right,
so
yeah, you don't... That's before, it's like the opposite way
so,
around.
Yeah, that was the first one I encountered, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. I didn't solve that one right away and had to come back. Also, it's a little bit annoying that the Cranky ranked is basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why are you telling me this every time? Why is it a different banana for each one? Like, surely I need a different, like, a tiny bit more writing would have gone a long way here.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the second half or the last sentence of that rant is different, I guess, but not the whole thing.
Yeah. Definitely the first two Crankies I encountered said the exact same thing with no changes, but until I talked to him a second time, and then he said something slightly different, but then did give me another banana. So.
Well, no, yeah.
Banana. That's pretty good. Game's pretty good.
Pretty good.
I mean, it's interesting. I think, like, aesthetically, I'm looking at it going, this borrows a lot from the Splatoon team, I think. Like, I get the Splatoon vibe from a lot of, like, not in terms of, like, the raw freshness, but, like, in terms of how things are presented, and that there's a look to it that feels Splatoon-y to me in places. Like, even little things, like how the text appears when you go into an area and how that camera's panning in the background, like, as you enter sublayer 500 or something, and the way that text comes on screen and the way it breaks off, there's a Splatoon vibe to it more than I think a Mario vibe to it.
Maybe.
And that's purely aesthetic, I think. But it makes me wonder if like some of that Monolith soft Splatoon team worked on this, as well as the Mario team. I don't know. And I don't know if that bothers me or not. I mean, it doesn't make me think that the game is worse for that, right? But there's a bit of me that's just like, oh yeah, but are we homogenizing all these things together? Are the like top tier Nintendo games becoming too samey now?
Well, I mean, the fact that this game kind of was just Odyssey 2, it's just like maybe they should have
Odyssey 2
tried to lean further away from that.
Yeah, like do I want that? Like, I don't know. But then, like, they are far enough apart that maybe I do want that. Pretty good game. It's pretty good. What else have I been doing? Failing to remember to do my Duolingo. The owl is angry. Probably all I got for now.
Here's something I haven't been playing, and sort of news, I suppose, to round off the end of this podcast by leaving it back to news again. Haven't been playing Surviving Mars Relaunched, because that has come out now.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it's been getting hella mixed reviews.
Oh, really?
But not for, like, what I was initially worried about, which was the AI problem that a lot of re-releases have been having lately.
Sure.
Where they just
the assets
chucked it into an AI upscaler and left it. Apparently, the problem that most people are having with it is that I'm not entirely clear on how this went down, but I from what I gather from these comments is that the DLCs for Surviving Mars were actually made by a different team.
Right.
And were therefore kind of broken in a lot of ways, which obviously I missed out on because I never played the DLCs.
Right.
Kind of coincidentally, but also because people, even at the time, was saying they weren't great, but not for this reason. I never knew this actual, like, the backstory, I suppose. So, in the relaunch, because they were including those DLCs from the original game as, like, base in the relaunch, they were essentially, the original developers were then going to take the DLCs and rebuild them themselves to integrate them fully in with whatever, in their style, I guess, their programming style possibly. So the idea was that because of that was going to, solve all the bugs or whatever. But apparently that hasn't really happened. Like, a lot of the bugs of the old version of the DLCs are still there in the new version, which was what kind of intended to get rid of these bugs.
Right.
And make it a much cleaner integration. But yeah.
So they haven't done the thing they wanted them to do.
Yeah, that's what it's seeming like. And then, there's a few people complaining about the graphical update, but not in, like not AI. Apparently, people just think it's too, desaturated now.
Oh,
like,
really?
HD is brown.
That game was quite brown.
It's Mars,
ready
so it's it's naturally kind of brown.
Yeah.
But I think it's more to do with, the buildings, from the screenshots I've seen, in the original version, the buildings were in the default skins, I suppose, because you could change it. But the buildings were mainly white, but with red markings, and it was just pretty much pure red.
Right.
So it's quite bright red, which made it stand out quite a lot. But now it seems like when they've redone the graphics, they've gone to more instead of white, it's more chrome or metal-y, and then the red is more toned down. So it kind of does desaturate it a bit against the background.
Yeah.
And maybe even the metal being reflective might even make that less as well, because it'll be reflecting the brownness of Mars. So some people have problems with the upgraded visuals, and then the other half of the reviews that are not negative, the positive ones, are it's fine. It maybe could do with running better than it does, but it looks perfectly good, and I haven't run into any problems myself or whatever, the classic. Although, of course, again, the other problem with all these early reviews is that in order to even get to the DLC to see if it's broken, you have to get some way into that game.
Yeah.
Because the DLC is mid-tier tech.
So by the time you get to the thing you're interested in, you might have gone out of your Steam refund window.
Yes. And, of course, there's the traditional people who are just pissed that they have to pay for the same game again. Sure. Which makes sense on some level.
But then why, if they haven't changed anything, then why would you?
You
just play the old version.
And also, the other side of that coin is the situation that I'm in, where it's I'm essentially getting 2 DLCs worth of content for the price of 1 DLC.
Right, yeah. I wonder if the color saturation thing, it's if they enhanced the graphics so they were HDR enabled or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual tech graphics level is.
Yeah, maybe the calibration on non-HDR screens isn't quite right or something. Or
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's fairly inevitable. We'll get to this at some point, just because that DLC discount is pretty good for me.
Sure. What you gotta know, right?
Well, and that. But annoyingly, the specific 50% discount you get for owning the original game, which is how they're managing the, people who are rebuying the game get a discount, and that's why for me it will be the cost of 1 DLC. That discount only appears to last until May, so you do still have to buy it within this time limit.
Right. Yeah.
It's a several months time limit, obviously, but.
And then depends on whether you think the probability of it turning up or how it will turn up in Steam sales is.
Yes. And also another thing, I guess, which has slightly pissed people off, they've already announced DLC for the new, for the re-release.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's and you can already buy it as an Ultimate Edition that gives you access to the first 2 or 3.
Got a season pass.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, that is a little. Yeah, I'm not sure that feels good.
But this is just. Paradox isn't the developer; it's the publisher. But
sure.
It's Paradox.
It's a paradoxy thing. Yeah.
Paradox do that shit.
Yeah, that is true.
So I'll probably get to that at some point. Maybe relatively soon. Depends what other games I still have to get through. Plenty of other games I still have to get through.
Stationeers without the beard.
Well, Surviving Mars is kind of in the same vein as Stationeers, really.
Yeah. What are you playing, Dan?
If anything.
Banana?
He's playing the game of silence.
Okay, he's winning.
He's winning that game.
I've been playing a game called Donkey Kong Bananza.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, we should talk about that for half an hour or something.
Probably.
Banana.
Maybe not.
How far are you? Where are you at?
I feel like we've done that. Well, obviously you've overtaken me, so I've been trying to avoid the spoilers. Trying to avoid spoilers. Right. I think that'll do us.
Yeah, hopefully I wasn't. I'm not trying to be.
No. It's fine. Yeah. Of course not.
I don't think there's really much to. I get the feeling, at least where I am, there's not too much to spoil.
No,
but I mean, it's just punch shit, get bananas, and that's the game. But
the ending is really the only one thing.
Sure,
I suppose.
I almost certainly won't talk story here.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. I don't have to say if it's cool or not, but.
And I'm in the Egypt area of Indiana Jones as well, which is beautiful.
Yeah, it's cool,
really
right?
nicely made and cool. But yeah, same. I haven't got anything more to add. It's really slick and really good, but sort of kind of shallow. But I guess that's the nature of quadruple A these days.
To an extent.
But it's for what it is. It's good.
I found that when you first turn up in Egypt, I found it mildly confusing, that area, right? Because it's you're sort of dumped sort of on the outskirts of that town, and then I don't know. I found it a while before I understood the area.
I was sort of it was a bit weird how it is kind of quite a difficult sneak, and then you get before you get the disguise.
Right, yes.
In Egypt for some reason at the start, after you've, met up with the right people or whatever. I was like, hang on, this is a bit weird. Am I approaching this from the wrong direction or something? And it's here's the disguise. Okay, fine.
Yeah. There's just guys everywhere until you get past this first bit. It's like an enforced stealth.
Yeah, but after that, totally fine. So
I also managed to shortcut one of the side quests at the very start of Egypt. I found the end point of it, and it's this seems like something I was supposed to have been it feels like the end of a story.
Led to.
So
that's also
that happened to me as well, which was kind of cool because it's just it's the Zelda thing, right? Sometimes that feels good.
Also, I keep comparing it to Deus Ex or an immersive sim, and it's that also happens a lot in Deus Ex, doesn't it? Where you complete the quest before you find the quest giver and stuff like that.
What happened here?
Yeah. So yeah.
Although the Indiana Jones quests there isn't usually a quest giver, right? You find a clue and it triggers a thing, and it's
usually which in itself is nicely fitting. For Indiana Jones.
It's generally pretty well handled in Indiana Jones. Like the whole, if you do short circuit things and stuff like that, it's generally copes with it pretty well.
I've also been playing a bit of Tetris, and I never ever tried to figure out how to play Tetris. So
on Tetris Effect.
Tetris Effect, yeah. Which is I think probably the best one.
I was thinking of starting playing that again.
It's pretty good.
I saw that it was on sale on the Switch too, and I'm like, well, I've got the PS4 version. I don't need to buy another one. But the trailer started playing, and I'm like, oh damn that music. Oh.
I felt like it's something good to just have on the system, so that you can just start playing a bit of Tetris, and then if you feel like a quick session, and then if you're like, oh okay, I'm playing games now, you can switch to something more.
That's what I liked when it was on Game Pass, because it's I've played that PlayStation 4 version a lot, but I've got that on disc, and my PlayStation 4 isn't always rigged up.
Yeah, that's a faff. You want straight into Tetris, basically.
Yeah. So
ideally.
When it was on Game Pass on Xbox, that was just what I did. It's just it's just right there. Okay, cool, let's go.
Yeah. So this is my plan. That
game's so good. There's a bit of me that's always been tempted to pick it up again on Steam, so I could run it through the Quest and actually do it in the VR.
Oh yeah. Oh, so that's another stupid use for the Steam frame or whatever. Yeah. I look forward to that bullshit. Because clearly, if I do get it, it'll be for Alex, but then it'll be I could play Tetris Effect or Beat Saber, or I could play fucking Rez.
Play No Man's Sky.
Yeah, play No Man's Sky. All kinds of possibilities.
Res Infinite VR is an experience, man. You should do that.
Basically, yeah. Is going back to the news, but that is the most tempting VR thing for me, literally ever.
I totally understand. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so might be an interesting year next year. But for now, good games in Indiana Jones and Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong is here. Yeah, now Yeah, I see what you meant by like it's not quite the DK rap as well. It's just a hint of it.
And we're almost in time for Donkey Kong December. So I'll be sure to finish it in December. That's fine. Maybe. All right, that is a long podcast. I hope you enjoyed our ramblings and our takes.
Let's get ready to ramble.
Yeah, I don't know if they were hot. Some hot takes, some warm takes.
Yeah.
Definitely some cold takes.
Warmer than
a ton of takes, basically.
It's a buffet of takes.
A buffet of takes.
Some of it's just been freshly delivered. Some of it's been sat there a while.
Yeah. So take your pick.
Watch out for the shrimp.
And if you like videos as well as audios, then you can check out our YouTube channel on youtube.com and then search for Happy Salad. I was going to say /Happy Salad, but that's not how it works. Although maybe it is.
It might.
Maybe it is. Yeah, I cannot confirm or deny it, but I'm sure you'll find it. We've got some Let's Plays on there. What's our latest?
Stationeers.
Yay! That'd be appropriate, so you can know what the hell Zach's talking about.
Check out that beard.
If you haven't played it. It is youtube.com/@ the Saladcast.
Right, yeah.
Not sure how appropriate that is, but close enough.
Yeah, I know, I remember, because there's another group that had Happy Salad as a name. You don't want to go look at that one.
You don't want to go. No, don't want to look at that. You might.
That's too political for my blood.
Yeah, none of that. We don't get political on here. No. Yeah, check out our Stationeers video, and we'll be back with another Saladcast in a couple of weeks. So we'll potentially catch you then. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.